Welcome back, Portal Masters. SAL Matt here with a little impromptu live stream event, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I am here. Why is that pushed up so far? But yeah, we are just hanging out, testing and resetting stuff today. I still have a few things to set up here, but I figured I can go live. It's just a casual stream. So we'll see if anybody is up for watching today, up for hanging out, talking to some Skylanders, doing some stuff. But yeah, nothing fancy today. No giveaways, no gameplay necessarily. Just kind of behind the scenes testing and resetting. This is what a average Tuesday might look like for me. Just like I figured I'm going to be sitting here in the office anyway. I figured I might as well turn on the camera and hang out with you folks. This over here. So, glad to have y'all here. Why was that loud? That was loud. Turn the sound off there. Over here. But yeah, welcome. I'm glad you could all make it. GT James, Kalen, Onyx, Portal Zebra. Nice. Found a Wildstorm for $2 at a bookstore. That's fantastic. Doesn't get much better than that. Adam, welcome. Mr. Portal Master, Martin, welcome. Any chance we clear some chests? Maybe if I get bored, but I have a lot of work to do. Like I said, actually like testing and resetting figures today. So, yeah, that comes first before opening chests. Like I said, this isn't a gameplay stream. This isn't a giveaway stream. If you're looking for any of that stuff, this is just casual hangout. We can I'll interact with the chat, but my main focus is going to be testing and resetting as many figures as possible. So, clutch update yesterday. Yeah, we had a big update yesterday, and Jillian's working through that right now. But it's it is definitely something that a lot of people were waiting for, I think. Yeah, fantastic update yesterday. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff in there, and I mean, people say it like almost guaranteed someone is going to comment within 6 hours. All the good stuff's gone already. Like, I mean, maybe the stuff you were looking for is gone, but when I get 1 or 2 copies of the good things, yeah, they're going to go fast. They're not going to last 6, 12, 24 hours. Like they're going to sell off right away because there's a reason why they're hard to find. And there's a reason why they're expensive. They're in high demand. There's very few of them. And a lot of people are looking for them. So that's just how it goes. The early bird gets the robo. Yep. So that's all there is to it. Still trying to find a metallic green washbuckler. I don't actually recall. Was there one in there yesterday? We had a good chunk of the swappers in there, including variants. But yeah, I don't recall if we had that exact one. Was it mainly figures? I think so, Martin. I mean, yeah, the majority of any update is going to be figures for sure. But Trying hard to get the Echo before it sold out. Yep. Echo, I know we only had one yesterday, so that's rough. Carl, do we have a date for the next road trip video? I am aiming for not this Saturday, but next Saturday. It's not done yet, but so this Saturday we have another live stream. That will be that'll be another unboxing live stream, but that will be the monthly giveaway live stream this Saturday. So the July 20th is what I'm hoping to get the next installment of the road trip videos up and on the channel. We'll see if that happens, but that also means I need to get through some of this stuff first. Apex Dino, things are going well. Yep. Yeah, I know a lot of people like the road trip videos, so I'm gonna keep making them. But I mean, not only do the road trips take a lot of time, but then creating the videos takes a lot of time and effort too. So, got to keep doing that. It's just gonna be a endless journey to keep those coming out. Why do the Imaginators all sell out so fast? Because they're popular. They're in high demand. There is probably a lower supply of them than other figures in general. So that's like I said, most of the things are supply and demand. And so lower supply, higher demand. It was the last game. A lot of people want them. Not everybody got them the first time around even. And so they tend to sell it quickly. But Trap Masters and Imaginators sell out very, very quickly. Those are usually the first two things to go. If you want to break it down by category, the Trap Masters and Sensei are typically the first things to sell out. If I could remove one swapper from the roster, I have a feeling we got a few YouTube members in here. You want to share a certain emoji that I would one swapper that I would remove from the roster. One swapper that I would remove from the roster. Anyone who's been here for just about any other live stream, I bet you can tell me which one I would remove. I'll give you a couple seconds. Have I 100%ed any Skylanders game? I have 100%ed all of them at one point or another. Well, all the main console games, I should say. Because I 3DS, like I've only played once, so I can't say that I've 100%ed them necessarily. But definitely all the mainline console games, the 6 games there. I have 100% of them all at some point or another. Like we're working through that with when I do play the games. I'm trying to 100% my PS4 copy of the game. I've already 100%ed on PS3, but now we're doing the PS4 versions to get it done again. How do the giveaway streams work, Philip? So you have to be present to win. So at some point during the stream, I will give you a keyword that you need to type into the chat. The system that I use will collect all those entries, all the usernames from whoever types in that keyword, and then we'll pick a winner. It all happens within like a 5-minute window usually, just somewhere in the middle of the stream. I don't announce when that's going to be. I just tell you it's going to be sometime during the stream. So I want you to come hang out with me, have some fun, and then we'll give away some stuff too. Volcanic Vault will be your last catch. It's very possible. Very possible. Swappers sell out in a decent amount of time. Yeah. Swappers, I feel like we've been getting more of them in recently. And so they probably sell at about the same rate as like Trap Masters and Imaginators. But since I've been getting more of them in, so higher supply, that even if the demand is the same, like they last a little bit longer, because because I have more of them. So yeah, like I said, we got a good supply of swappers in yesterday. So they'll probably sell out within the week again, and they'll all be out of stock again. But we do what we can. It just means we're helping more people complete their collections, and that's what we're here to do. There you go. Yes, fire, Kraken, fire, Kraken, fire, Kraken, fire, Kraken. Yes, if I were to remove one swapper from the lineup, it would absolutely be fire, Kraken. Which trap master would I remove? Where's trap master? Honestly, I might go with Blastermind. I know a lot of people would probably get rid of Head Rush, but Blastermind, I'm not the biggest fan, and I know a lot of folks like him for his like lock puzzle skipping ability, but I like the puzzles. I prefer to do them, like, and to have that take the slot of what could be another awesome power, like I don't know. I find myself not using Blastermind very much. How close am I to finish my collection? I'm about 20 pieces away, 20 items. Of course, that includes some of the unreleased items and stuff like that. So it's still going to be a long journey to get those 20, but relatively close in the grand scheme of things. Apex Dino, yeah, local flea markets. If you got them near you, go check them out. You never know when things might pop up. Games and stuff, I know. There are plenty of people who love Firecracken out there, and that's fine. That's your opinion. For me, though, I do not care for Firecracken in the least. You're gonna say Blastermind? Fair enough. Blastermind connection. Ethan, volcanic eruptors getting in the shop soon. I'm not sure. I might have some in this lot that I'm supposed to be testing and resetting right now. I should probably start doing some of that while I talk to you guys. All right. So yeah, like I said, I'm supposed to be working right now. Just testing and resetting figures. I figure I turn on the camera for a while while I do that. And we can have some good chats. But otherwise, yeah, this is just my normal Tuesday. I don't always have stuff to test and reset on Tuesday afternoon, but or I don't always do it on Tuesday, I suppose I should say. Sometimes I do it on the weekend, sometimes I do it on Monday, but yeah. We'll just have to keep this train moving here. We'll see if we can find some volcanic eruptors. The stuff that I'm working on right now will probably get into the shop sometime next week. I would think early next week. A little bit of that timing is up to STL Jillian when she actually releases it. But yeah, it'll be somewhere in that area. Got a bunch of glow-in-the-dark sonic booms and glow-in-the-dark cinders on top of this box here.
Spreading my wings.
If anyone's looking for those, they seem to be popular internationally. I think glow-in-the-dark sonic boom was really hard to find over in Europe. They always seem to sell more over there. Do we have any of the international crowd here? Like, do you recall glow-in-the-dark sonic boom being sold in stores over there?
Spreading my wings.
Chris, what if Skylanders collaborated with National Sports League? I'd be okay with it. It just means more publicity for Skylanders. I got no problem with that.
Moving ahead.
Yeah, it looks like this whole box that I'm going through right now is basically all variants.
Spreading my wings.
So we'll see if we can find some volcanic eruptors in here. You don't like Firecrotton's gameplay, just his design. That's fine. I don't like his gameplay or his design. That's why he's my least favorite character overall.
The perfect swarm.
How am I going to get unreleased figures? So I mean, they're out there. They didn't have a commercial release. I guess is a better way of putting it. But there are still a few copies of them floating around there, whether they're from employees or people who worked at the factory or just various random
The perfect swarm.
places. These figures have made their way into collectors' hands.
The perfect swarm.
So, I mean, in all reality, if I include those, it's going to be like a lifelong journey to find them all and to potentially be able to afford them all. But that's part of the hunt for me. How many hours a week are you pulling to bring in all the goods? I don't keep track of my hours, Kaylin, so it's kind of hard to say. It is basically a full-time job, though. I mean, SCL Jillian is employed full-time, you know, with customer service and packing and shipping orders. I am more on the acquisition side of things and the video content side of things, and it's I basically spend all day doing it, but since I don't clock hours, since I don't get paid by the hour or anything, like I don't know. I guess if I were to hire someone else to do it, it probably could be a full-time job. But I'm not going to hire someone to do that. At least not everything. It's a lot of time. I would not be able to bring in as much as I do if I didn't have, you know, SCL Jillian taking care of the packing and shipping for me. So that, like, I used to do everything by myself, but once we got her on board, then we could expand things a little bit, because then I can spend more time just acquiring stuff because I don't have to pack and ship it all. Crazy ones. Do we have any more Trap Team, Whisper Elves, King Cobra Cadabra? You wanted to buy them yesterday, but somebody beat you to it. So, I mean, what you see is what we got. I mean, if you see me go through something today, then you'll know that it will be coming in a future update. Like I said, the stuff that we go through today is probably going to be in the shop sometime next week. I can't guarantee exactly when or what day, but just keep an eye out for those updates. For those of you who don't know, we now have 3 places that we share information about the updates. As always, we've been sharing over on SCL Jillian's Twitter feed. She will always post over there. Here on this YouTube channel, in the community feed, we post it there now, so you can go see pictures of yesterday's update. You can see what was there, because obviously a lot of it is gone now, but that's what was there at one point. And the third place is now in the SCL Discord. Now, the Discord is a little bit special because it is a paid community. It is a perk you get for joining this YouTube channel. So if you want to pay it's $2.99 a month. You can cancel at any time, but that's one of the perks of joining this YouTube channel is you get access to the SCL Discord. And in that Discord, we always post about updates, and we actually post over in that Discord first. So you actually get a little bit of a head start on the update if you're a member of the Discord. So little bit of a bonus we've decided to give them because it is a paid community. We do give them a head start and then post to the Twitter and YouTube feeds later. Not too much later, but later. So if you're really looking for something and you need to get it as soon as possible, I would recommend becoming a member here on YouTube and making sure you join that Discord so you can get the first notice about it. X-Virus, been really into Trap Team lately. That's awesome. Trap Team is a fantastic game. And I actually really want to get back into playing Trap Team. I know that's one of the PS4 games I still need 100%, but we've been working through Swap Force right now, and it's been really slow going. It's been taking a while. So it may be a little while before I get back to Trap Team, but that's probably the next game that's up on my list. Like, I want to get back into that for sure. Recently picked up a glow-in-the-dark portal. I didn't know it existed. Yeah, that's what I've been finding. A lot of folks didn't know that glow portal existed. So always happy to spread the knowledge. Now, it looks like we got a few purple lip chills in here. I know that the game isn't going to tell you that.
Stay cool.
So I will tell you that. Those are purple lip chills. A lot of legendary figures in here, though.
Looking good.
Nade, you didn't miss too much. We're just testing and resetting stuff that'll be in the shop sometime next week. Nothing major.
Stay cool.
William, hope Trap Team stuff gets restocked. Just got a starter kit. Nice. Yeah. I mean, Trap Team, like I said, it's super popular, which means it's super hard to find at a good price. A lot of people know that's the expensive stuff now, so it's getting harder and harder to find my stuff. Or find stuff for the shop, I should say. And then when I do, it just sells out very quickly. So we do get Trap Team stuff in regularly. It's just it sells out very, very quickly. Multi, just found your channel, but are you the person who runs Skylanders character? Yes, I am. I am SEO Matt. I run Skylanders character list. I started it 11 plus years ago. Yeah, I'm glad you found it useful. I think a lot of folks in here have probably found it useful.
Looking good.
But yeah, that's my site, and now the shop has moved over to sclcollectibles.com if you are looking to purchase characters for your collection. Do I want to remaster or Game 7? I mean, I will take either. I will happily take either option. I think the remaster is more likely at this point. And honestly, I kind of want a remaster because I want to be able to play Spyro's Adventure and Giants like on this system on a PS5 and then go through and 100% those. That would be fantastic. But it's, as far as we can tell, probably a long way off. If it's coming at all. So we can hope. And if I hear anything for sure, I mean, it'll be plastered all over my website. I'll be making video upon video about it, like all sorts of stuff. That'd be great. You're in the UK, never seen a glow-in-the-dark figure in store. Interesting. Yeah, like the glow-in-the-dark stuff, like Cinder and Sonic Boom were Walmart exclusives here in the US. And so I always wondered, what happened with those internationally? Did they even get those internationally? Because when I sell them, I have people who are regularly buying like glow-in-the-dark Sonic Boom over in Europe from my store. And I feel like they just didn't get them over there. Mr. Portalmaster, I haven't talked to the person to see if they're okay with me sharing this information. So I'm not going to say anything just yet. I could ask them at some point and see, or who knows, maybe they'll show up in the chat. But until I get the okay, I'm not going to share that information. Just know that I was someone who was reselling Skylanders regularly.
Nature calls.
All right. Yeah, Skylander 7 would definitely be cool for sure. Think about bundles. Yeah, X-Virus. I mean, I get what you're saying. I've had a lot of requests for bundles like that and kind of bundling things that were originally bundled together. Yeah, especially for like Midnight Museum and stuff like that I have so rarely in stock. It's the feeling I get right now is that it's not worth my time to set that up when it might be able to be used once or twice a year, right? Whereas like the Gil Grunt bundle or the Terrafin bundle or the all 8 elements from Spyro's Adventure bundle or the magic items bundle, like all that stuff is in stock fairly regularly and almost in obviously stuff has started to sell out more and more. Like the Giants bundle used to be in stock all the time and now it goes out of stock regularly. And so stuff like that makes more sense to me, that I can say, okay, yeah, this is something that people are actually going to be able to buy. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense to me. Any Power Blues? I don't recall. We kind of just packed it all up in boxes and I ran off with it. So you'll have to stay tuned and see if we run across any Power Blue stuff. Right now, I think I have mostly it's all living in my basement right now, and there's 2 large bins, like plastic totes, and then maybe half a dozen smaller boxes. And I brought some of the smaller boxes up, and I think it's mostly Giants, Swap Force, and Trap Team that I brought up here. I know there's a bunch of Supercharger stuff in the basement, but I don't know if there's actually Power Blue stuff or not. Chompy, if you've only played Trap Team, I mean, you got a lot of exploring to do, but Trap Team is a good game. So if you enjoy Trap Team, I think you'll enjoy the rest of it. Did you get that Flock Stump Smash from the sweepstakes or eBay or something? Oh, if you're talking about the one in the background, that one was from a collection that I bought off someone. I was actually not into Skylanders when that original free-to-play giveaway was happening.
The sky's the limit.
Because I got into Skylanders a little bit later, actually, like end of 2012, going into 2013. Like I started the website in early 2013. So that is my time frame, and even then, I didn't fully grasp everything that was going on in the community, and with the figures and giveaways and all that type of stuff. I didn't know about all that stuff. So
I don't like.
I was just trying to understand the game and what was going on.
Dangerous.
But that so like that figure there, I've had a bunch of loose ones. I finally got that nice inbox one there that I decided to keep in my collection.
Bolt and lightning.
And that's one I got from someone else's collection. I don't think that one was from eBay. That was probably a different collection, like a private sale collection that I bought.
Bolts and lightning.
Found some more glow in the dark figures here. Told you we got a bunch of them.
Full scream ahead.
What do you should get another another Skylanders game? I think it would be as good as the others.
Ready my wing.
Possibly better. They've improved a lot of things in video games since then. Martin, you're right. Absolutely right. STL Jillian is amazing.
Ready my bolts and lightning.
I find it funny every time I look for something in the shop, you're always late. But if you buy it off of eBay, the shop has it.
My power is on you.
Ethan, I'm sorry it works out that way for you. Yeah, like I said, that's part of the game. That's part of how hunting Skylanders goes nowadays.
My power.
Like you just have to be quick on the trigger. You have to be watching for those updates.
Scream ahead.
And I mean, depending what you're looking for exactly. Like the
Ready my wing.
stuff that sells out quickly, you might consider becoming a member of the channel and the Discord to get the early notifications. If it's getting frustrating for you.
Scream ahead.
Which game has the longest levels? I've never timed it. I would say Swap Force.
Ready
It's
my
either Swap
wing.
Force or Superchargers. Like they are like annoyingly long in many cases.
Scream ahead.
But I'm playing through Swap Force right now, so in my opinion, recency bias says Swap Force has the longest levels. Hey, look at that! There's a volcanic eruptor. Who's looking for that? So the answer is yes. We will have some volcanic eruptors coming soon. Once again, I don't have an exact date, but it'll be coming soon. Cook just got 360 and playing SSA. Yeah, SSA is the
I need to
still my favorite game out there. I mean, I always love the originals.
clobber and slobber.
I always think they're going to be a tad bit better than the rest. The original story they wanted to tell.
I need to crunch these nuts.
Just a lot of nostalgia with that too. Steven, how are Skylanders values trending currently? Been away since your son's stopped actively collecting. Yeah. They're at least holding steady, if not climbing. I mean, it varies a little bit figure to figure, obviously. But I think I've probably raised some prices since, I mean, in the last few months. I did just announce in the newsletter today that I did drop the price on the light yawn trap that I have in the shop, but that's a little bit more because I've been able to find them. One, a little bit more consistently, and two, for a little bit cheaper. So I decided to drop the price on that one. But other than that, most price adjustments I make are going up. In the grand scheme of things, like things continue to sell out more and more regularly, and it's
Our flames are growing.
it's not getting tougher to find the figures, but they're selling faster, and so if anything, it's just becoming more of a struggle for me to keep up with buying them fast enough. And for, between SCL Jillian and I to get them all tested and reset and in the shop fast enough for you to buy them.
Ooh,
But yeah, I wouldn't say anything's really like lost much value. So I'd say at least
bomb.
at least holding steady, if not rising. Brandon, I'm not going to reveal that information right now, who I bought this from right now, until I talk to them and they're okay with me releasing that information. I suppose I should have. I didn't initially think that I was going to be streaming all the stuff that I bought from them. So I didn't think about, oh, maybe I should ask them if I can share that information. Yeah. So until I am able to talk with them and let them know that I'll be sharing that information, I'm not going to do that. Martin, the blue lip chill is what it was supposed to be, and so that's the corrected version. The purple lips was released first, and is a little bit harder to find. But yeah, like, I mean, if you look in the game and in all the artwork and stuff, she has blue lips, and so like that's definitely what it was supposed to be, but not purple lips. Yeah, got to do a remaster to get people hooked on the series. Yeah, that's how Crash. That's how they did with Spyro. That's how they, yeah, all those games. Secrets are so fun. STL Jillian's in the house. But yeah, no giveaway today. That'll be on Saturday. Saturday is the giveaway stream. Good deal, Wildstorm, 144 USD. Yeah, I would say, like I said, anything that's under my list price in the shop, I'm gonna say that's a good deal. And so I believe Wildstorm in the shop right now is 175. So I would say that's a good deal. Little Night Fury. Birthday blackout? Go for it. That sounds like a great birthday present. From me to me.
Armed and dangerous.
Nick, welcome to the stream. I'm doing well. Glad you could make it. Bob, what's my favorite I got so far today? There's been a lot of repetition. I don't know what my favorite is. I hadn't thought about that. It's been a lot of like legendaries and glow in the darks and variants like that. That honestly, those aren't my favorite variant lines. Jolly Bumble Blast. There we go. Jolly Bumble Blast is my favorite. I do like the holiday, the Christmas ones. But I'm not really a fan of legendaries. Not the biggest fan of the Giants glow in the darks. I think the SSA glow in the darks are better than the Giants ones. Ooh, there's a pretty one. Little whirlwind coming up.
Catch it.
Yeah, we got all sorts of stuff going in this box here. Like I said, a lot of legendaries coming out for sure.
Ooh, nice. I'm the bomb.
Already ordering it. There you go. Happy birthday. What do I know about white-eyed T-Rex? I don't really know much about that. I haven't really figured out if that's just a weird factory error or if it's like purple lip chill type of thing or what. Like, I don't know. Because it's T-Rex, I think I've kind of ignored it and haven't really paid much attention to it because T-Rex is so common. Maybe that's something I can look into someday.
Hawk and
Ethan, just want to tell you and Jillian, thank you for helping me out tremendously collecting Skylanders. I've been collecting for the past few months. Practically done. Ooh. Just have a few more. Ethan, do you have a number? If you're that close, do you know how many more you need? And yes, I agree with this with SL Jillian. She speaks for the company and for herself. It would be funny if April Fool's Day you would sell the cheapest Skylanders for the amount Robo costs. I mean, yeah, I could do that, but yeah, no one's gonna pay that. We could try it. Only stuff you're really looking for now is Volcanic Eruptor. Hey, we just got one of those. Light Owl Trap and anything else we'd just be buying for fun. Fair enough.
Power will haunt you.
You know what you want. That's good. How much does a complete set of Spyro's figures cost? I actually don't know what that number is. I would literally just have to go into the shop and start adding up numbers. But I don't know that number offhand. But if is Jindigo here? I haven't seen him yet, but if Jindigo's here, I'm sure they would go run some numbers for you. they love doing that stuff. But if anybody else wants to go add up Spyro's adventure figures and see how much does that cost right now, I honestly don't know. I bet you it's less than original retail, but I don't know what that number is. May start collecting superchargers next year. Hey, that's completely up to you. Stellan gonna buy some stuff from the shop soon. Have a legendary free ranger. We do halves, yes. So Stellan, if you're wondering about the halves, if you scroll down to the very bottom of any page on sclcollectibles.com, there will be a link that says, what does it actually say? Let me get this right. Buying a swapper half. So it's right next to the FAQ section. But just scroll down to the bottom of any page on sclcollectibles.com. There's a link to SCL Collectibles in the description if you need it. But yeah, there's a whole page on buying a swapper half. The short answer is you just leave a note for SCL Jillian when you place your order, and if we have the half you're looking for, we'll include it. But that's the short version of it. So, but yeah, there's a few other rules, I guess you could say, that go along with that are on that page. Have I ever been to Pennsylvania to buy a collection or game stores? Long time ago, years ago at this point, I did buy a collection from Philadelphia. I haven't really been hunting in Pennsylvania though. I do know they do have a couple of the exchange that comes out of the Cleveland area. So like Western Pennsylvania, there's a few the exchange stores that I can recommend. But other than that, I don't know because I haven't been hunting there. Glad you could watch another stream. I'm glad you could too. Moonstone, what console do I recommend playing on? That's completely up to you. I know the Wii, especially after the first couple of games, gets a little bit sketchy in what it could actually run, what it could handle. But that's really the only major issue I can think of. If you just want for ease of use, the Xbox 360 and the PS3 may be your best bets because they're the only two consoles that can play all 6 games. So that is a bonus in my opinion. So you could do that. But otherwise, I mean, like I like playing on the PS5, so I need the PS4 versions of the games, but that means I can only play 4 of the games. I played on PS3 before that, so I have all those games, but it is really up to you. Like the newer consoles are nice. They run a little bit smoother, a little bit faster, but it's not necessarily that much of an upgrade in graphics or anything like that. So I mean, they're kids games, right? They were created for kids, so they're like graphical uh, superiority was not necessarily their main concern. They weren't going for realism. We're talking about dragons and eagles that stand on two legs and shoot air guns. Yeah. So that's about where I'm at. If you want easy access to all 6 games, PS3 or 360. Otherwise, it's really up to you. Just whatever most convenient for you. Little Knife Fury. So there is I don't provide a direct link to the SCL Discord because you need to be a member of this channel to get access to the Discord. And once you become a member, there in the little perks section, it will there's a link there that tells you how to connect your YouTube to Discord, and that will give you access to all that stuff. And so, like, even if I gave you a direct link to the Discord, you wouldn't be able to see anything in the server because you're not a member yet. So really, that's what it comes down to. Become a member, and then you'll have further instructions on how to find the Discord. How many customers in the UK? Martin, I don't know that number offhand. Maybe SCL Jillian could give you a better idea about that. If she, I mean, just because she sees addresses every day, maybe she can give you an idea of like how many packages per day or per week get sent out towards the UK. I don't think it's that many. I mean, maybe we've had 100, 200 customers overall. I don't know if it's even that high though. Nick, the monthly giveaway stream is this Saturday. So the 13th. Are there any Imaginators in this lot? I think there's a few, not a lot, because once again, like this was from a reseller, and so even for like I'm not the only reseller that knows that Imaginators just sell very quickly. So I think there's a few in one of these boxes somewhere here, but it's not a lot. I mean, it's going to be less than what was in the update yesterday for sure. Do I miss when Skylanders was popular? I mean, yes and no. It's made collecting a little bit easier, it feels like, when there aren't millions of people trying to get them. But it also means that we're not getting new games and new content and new figures. So that's kind of a bummer. Polar Whirlwind is a really nice design. Yes, we should put her on the portal. There we go.
Twists of fury.
Robo for $200? Absolutely. I would pay $200 for a Robo if it was available, but don't find that too often. You bought the reseller or just bought some items from a reseller? So I actually bought the reseller's entire stock of Skylanders. Yeah. So I bought out the reseller. I mean, they were looking to sell. They contacted me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in buying everything I have?" But yeah, I bought their entire inventory. Nick became a new member. Congratulations and thank you. Welcome to the community. If you have any trouble getting into the Discord, let me know. But everybody else has seemed to figure it out so far. I know we ran into one issue during one of our other streams when a few people were joining, but I think they basically said they had to reboot Discord a couple of times and it worked. All right. Oh, Jillian chiming in on Tree Rex. Yeah, she sees a whole bunch of them, so it's not convinced that they're rare. Fair enough. There we go. Ooh, $132 for all Spyro's Adventure figures. There you go. We have an answer. Roughly $132. Series 1 Chop Chop, mint in box. Love to see it. That doesn't happen every day. X Virus found the channel. Jillian comments on for my Christmas wish. There you go. There you go. Sub Jillian. All Spyros are sold out except for Series 1. Yeah, Ken. I mean, that happens quite frequently nowadays. I mean, Spyro's the guy that started it all.
Impressive.
But the Series 1s tend to sell out
So
fairly
fury.
regularly as well, but we must have just gotten a bunch of them in. You're visiting Pennsylvania to see family in 2 weeks. A video store at a flea market has a couple Skylanders. I mean, if you don't mind sharing, where's that? Where's that? We all like to check it out. Petition for Jillian to make her own channel about drawing. Yeah, I'm not going to force that, but she's thinking about it. All right. How far behind in this chat am I? Ooh, do you sell broken figures? So, yeah, Jillian kind of answered this here. So we sell damaged figures. What I refer to as damaged. So I try to differentiate between damaged and broken. Damaged figures are figures that have physical or cosmetic damage, but they still work in the game. We do sell those in the damaged mystery boxes that she mentioned. So if you want to get those, it's 30 figures, $30, no duplicates. But it's other than that, it is a mystery box. So, but if they're broken, as in they don't work in the game anymore, like the chip is no longer functional or the chip has been removed or whatever, we don't sell those. I have a box of them in the basement. It's a small box. Actually, maybe 2 boxes now. But yeah, they don't hold a lot of value. People want to be able to, even if they're just collecting them, they like to know that they could use them in the game if they wanted to. So it is what it is. But yeah, we sell damaged figures in the mystery boxes. I also do sell some damaged figures, some of the higher end damaged figures like Imaginators and stuff in the auctions. So this right over there, pointing in a mirror image is weird. But Whatnot. If you haven't signed up for Whatnot yet, you can use the link down in the description below to sign up and get $15 in Whatnot credit. That is a way to join our auctions. We are over there every Wednesday. I will be over there this Wednesday. I do sell some damaged figures there. They usually start at $1 and we see where they go. But that's also where I sell a lot of new in-box stuff. I sell a lot of Skylanders merchandise, Skylanders storage, Skylanders everything. But stuff that either is hard to find or just doesn't make sense to put in the shop or whatever. I just don't have a price for it for whatever reason. So if you're not signed up for Whatnot yet, be sure to do that. Have a blast. Have a good day. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, Nick, you're already on the Discord. You've been a member before. Fair enough. Welcome back. I thought it was weird that you weren't a member yet. But I guess that's weird. Yeah. Okay. Welcome back. All right, Apex Dino. Have a good night. Dominic, I appreciate the information, but I tend to call people by their usernames. I don't like to use names that aren't on the screen. One, it's easier for me to remember, and two, a lot of times people don't use their real names for a reason. Like they want some anonymity. So even if I know your real name, I'm probably going to refer to your username instead of your real name. Callum, welcome. It has been a while. Glad you can make it. 90 volts. Pop in and say we ordered from y'all multiple times and it was always a great experience. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Blackout and Spotlight bought both. Ooh. Crimson. Were you just bought them yesterday? I know we had Spotlight and Blackout then. That'd be great. Martin, no, I have not finished resetting. Not by a long shot. You know, I just get distracted by the chat. That's why this is maybe not a good idea to turn on the camera, because then I get less work done. But we'll keep things going here. I wanted to get caught up in the chat. Like I felt I was really behind, and I'll fall behind again. But at least get caught up for a little while. So when people are saying, "Hey, I'm leaving," maybe they won't have been gone for 12 minutes already.
He spores.
That was you. Congrats. You see that's where it pays off to be a member.
Look at my
and get that early notification, so you get the Spotlight and Blackout before everybody else.
He spores.
Crazy ones. Hate being in Canada because it takes weeks to get here. So I've heard mixed reactions. When we first started shipping to Canada, like folks were getting stuff in a week or less. And I don't know if that has changed or if it really depends like where you live in Canada. But we've had some people tell us like they were super surprised how fast it got there. Like it got there in like 5 days or something like that. And I know that's not always going to be the case, but yeah, I mean, it may just be. I mean, because even within the U.S., like if you're shipping from one side of the country to another, or if you live in the middle of nowhere, and so like.
The perfect swarm.
Typically, like if I live in a major city and I'm shipping, let's say if you're shipping from like New York to LA, like that is, even though it's across the country, it might be faster because they're two major cities and they don't have to travel as far otherwise. Whereas if you live in a smaller city outside of one of the major cities, like it probably has to go from your small, like my small city, to a major hub, and then to another major hub close to you, and then out to your small city. And so it can actually take a lot longer to get there just based on where you live. So,
the perfect swarm.
It's rough, but nothing we can do about that. Spotlight, Echo, and Breeze are the only 3 trap team you need. Those are some big 3 there. Jillian, no, I'm not distractible. I'm not gonna let you distract me. We're just gonna keep plowing through. Jillian would have finished by now. yeah, she knows to laugh at that.
Big and mighty.
Jillian's just as distractible as I am. Do we have Skylanders games for Xbox 360? So Mr. Crocs, we sell them. I don't know if they're currently in stock. You'd have to check the shop or maybe ask SCL Jillian if she has them right in front of her. Although some of them may have been sold already, even if we had them in stock recently, and she just hasn't like packed them up yet. But yeah, I just like you, I would have to check the shop. Here, let's check the shop. Games. Actually, here, let's search. Game 360. Stop knocking Skylanders off the desk. Sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. We do not currently have Xbox 360 games in stock. All 6 of them are sold out. Which is impressive, I feel, because I thought I just restocked those. Oh, you know what? I have a bunch of them from my most recent road trip that aren't in the shop yet because I haven't made the video about it yet. So, I can guarantee there will be more coming, but they're apparently just not in the shop right now. We have like 10 hour from the borders. Fair enough. I live like 4 hours from the border, from the Canadian border, but that doesn't necessarily help things get there faster. Quakertown Market is the name of the flea market. There you go. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you're in Pennsylvania, go check them out. Went hunting a few days ago, picked up Dino Rang, Drill Sergeant, Washbuckler, Magna Charge. There you go. Sounds like a good pickup.
Read them. Slash and
There's a bunch of golden Dragonfire cannons in here too, but I can't test those in this game. So, hey, another volcanic eruptor. So I have more than one shot at it, even if other people are looking for it.
no chinks in this armor. Slash and burn.
Mudman, welcome. Glad you make it. Nick only needs a buckshot for a complete Imaginator's base set.
No chinks.
That's not bad at all. Real close, and not even a tough one. Well, I mean, they're all kind of tough, but like not one of the big 3. I didn't say that you would be distracting me. Well, actually, I kind of did. Never mind. Yeah, we don't have 360 games. Dave, no. Yawn Trap is on Saturday. So this is just kind of a spur of the moment. I'm just testing, resetting, hanging out, casual stream. The big unboxing and giveaway stream will be on Saturday. Any other hints about what was found on the road trip? Yeah, there is definitely some exciting stuff.
Armed and dangerous.
I don't want to give away too much. I will say it's stuff that I
don't like.
have never found in the wild before. Definitely have not purchased in the wild before. So I mean that not only means that it's hard to find, but it was actually reasonably priced. So yeah, there's some good stuff for sure.
Ooh, I'm a
Still trying to figure out how to handle that video. Actually, I think I might break up this trip into multiple videos because I visited over the course of a week. I made more than 30 stops, I believe, at various game stores, and I mean, I met up with 1, 2, 3, 4, like four other collectors. I mean, one of them, well, is a pair of collectors that I met. That was the reason for the trip. And then 3 other collectors I met along the way. But then like 30 other game stores and stuff that I went to. So there's a lot of good stuff in coming out of that trip for sure. Complete Giants collection costs $762. Wow, that jumps up. That jumps up, especially from. Oh yeah, 125 for Royal Double Trouble. I was gonna say just 132 for the.
I'm a smart.
Yeah, like 125 almost pays for the 132. Man. All right.
The motion of the potion. Now that's strong.
Games and stuff, that's awesome. I'm curious to see what they all cost now. If you go in 2-player, couldn't you reset 2 figures at once? Yeah, I'm with Ken here. Like, I don't think you can reset both of them at the same time. Like, I think I'd have to, like, you would have to reset one, and that would prevent player 2 from doing anything else until the first one is reset. So, I mean, theoretically, you could have 2 on the screen, but, like, even then, like, when you put one figure on the portal, it's going to go through this magic moment. And then you have to put the second one on the portal, go through another magic moment. So, like, I don't think it'd actually be any faster.
Catch a glimpse.
Bob, who did I buy out? Yeah, so I'm not going to reveal that information right now because I didn't ask the reseller if I could share that information because I didn't think that I would be streaming anything related to it. So I didn't ask them ahead of time if I could share their name or whatever. So I'm not gonna reveal that right now. Christian the other day found the rare fire trap, 750 euros. Oof. I think that's overpriced. I would not pay that. And I would not recommend any collector pay that price. Like, unless it was brand new in box, in mint condition, and it was one of the last things you need for your collection, then I might consider that price. But no. I mean, we've seen those. I mean, those traps can go. I mean, I don't know what the euro conversion is right now, but like in USD, we've seen them go, 400 to 500 maybe, top dollar on eBay, but 750 seems high unless the conversion is really good. I don't know what that conversion is right now. 750 euros to dollars. Oh, it's the other way. So that's like $811. Oof. No, yeah. Do not pay that. It's definitely overpriced. And I mean, I get it because they're so few and far between and there's not a lot of comps out there. So folks kind of think they can charge whatever they want. And I mean, to some extent, they're right. And another volcanic eruptor. Yes, we have volcanic eruptor coming. But even if they put those prices out there, I don't recommend that collectors pay them. So, obviously, it's your money. You can spend it how you want. Hey, volcanic eruptor. But if you want my recommendation, that is not something that I recommend.
The perfect swarm.
Mud man, if you want to go on road trips, go for it. You don't have to like drive across the country. You can start locally. Just explore whatever state or whatever country you're in. and slowly expand from there. I mean, you might not have to expand much further. Yeah, there have been a lot of kickoff countdowns for sure. I mean, like I said, this was a reseller. It just means they got a lot of them in. It doesn't mean like it was their favorite figure by any means. It meant they didn't sell them fast enough.
Time is up.
Sweet Swap Force, including UFO hat. Oof. Yeah, if Swap Force were already at 1,200, I mean, Trap Team. I would bet the Trap Team total might be higher than the Imaginators total, just because of the pure amount of figures. And I mean, Trap Team stuff can get expensive on its own. It's not necessarily at Robo level, but there's a lot more, $100 figures. Like a lot more figures in the $50 to $100 range,
My flames are growing.
and just a lot more figures overall. So
Born to burn.
I would imagine that Trap Team is probably going to be the highest total. That's my guess.
Born to burn.
Jindigo, yes, I did find out how to display the website's orders. It's not the most elegant solution. It doesn't really fit the theme of the website right now, if you ask me. But the numbers are there. I'm probably gonna I'm working with a developer right now on a different project, and I might have them after we're done with that other project come and tweak this site a little bit. And like that would be one of the things, like now that I know that it's possible, like have them redo it for me, because that's just something like I don't know how to do. But if you could be a Skylander, oof, that's interesting.
Catch a
I
glimpse.
still might think I pick camo. You get to eat watermelon all day.
Silent but deadly.
Nick, you only need the Vault, Gil Runt, and Terabytes. All right. That's not bad. Yeah, the Vault's going to be the trickiest one there. Just got through the first page of Trap Team and already had 235. There you go. Jindigo, you like it. Fair enough. Do I think if I sell my whole collection, I can buy a Lamborghini? Probably not.
A glimpse.
I don't think it's that expensive. And I wouldn't want to buy a Lamborghini anyway. William Edis in London. Well, hello. What you doing over there? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you live over there normally, do you?
Impressive power.
Genie. Got a lot of dark stealth out there.
Wishes.
Probably good, because I feel like I don't see those too often.
Impressive.
Armed and dangerous. I don't like it. Armed and dangerous.
Just on vacation for a bit. Okay. Enjoying summer before I have to return to school. Fair enough. Fair enough. Enjoy the vacation. Yeah. I don't have that summer break to deal with anymore, so My vacations tend to come at different times.
Ooh, I'm a. I'm the bomb.
I think so. That box appeared to be most of the Giants and Swap Force variants that we got out of this lot. Next box I grabbed seems to have more trap team. So we'll see how that goes.
Now that's strong.
That's 4 countdowns.
The motion of the
Was it only 4? It felt like there were more than 4. Skyland Wolf. So I wouldn't necessarily say I work for the STL shop because I own the STL shop, but yes, this is my only job. It's my full-time job. This is what I do. So SCL has become full-time, not only for me, but for SCL Jillian as well. Big operation. Still a small business, but it's enough to keep both of us busy.
Silent but deadly.
Just ended up here once again. Still a beautiful city. Hey, William, I've never been to London, but if you found your place, go for it.
Silent but deadly.
Your childhood dream seems like the best job. Yeah, I get it. I get it. And I mean, most days, yeah, it's great. I am very blessed to be able to do this for a living. But it is also something that, I mean, I've been hanging out with Skylanders for the past 10 years, but it wasn't until, 3 years ago when I opened up the shop and started selling the figures that actually started bringing in a decent income, and then started growing and growing and growing to the point where, yeah, I have employees now. And, but of course that also opens up a whole nother, litany of issues and problems I have to deal with when it comes to like running a business. So most days, yes, I love it. It's a great time. And I'm, like I said, I'm very thankful for it, but it can be very frustrating at other times. And, SCL Jillian gets the front row seat to that. Cause I, when I vent about the business stuff or something needs to be handled, well, sometimes she gets to handle it. Especially if it's like calling government agencies, like, hey, Jillian, you wanna do that for me? Thanks. But yeah. Like I said, most days, 90% of the time, it's all good. It is very much a dream job, if you will. A complete trap team collection. I told you that one's going to be pricey. Because, I mean, yeah, you don't, like I said, you don't have Robo Wildstorm Chompy Mage, but you have Breeze, Enigma, Rocky Roll, Echo, Spotlight, Blackout, like all those things there. So much stuff there to deal with. Yes. Jillian the Enforcer. Absolutely. All right, let's get in. Speaking of Trap Team, let's get in some Trap Team stuff. Next box I grabbed here. Like, I'm not going to be able to get through the entire inventory today. Like, this is a multi-day project. If I did do it all in one day, I mean, it'd at least be a, full 12-hour project or some 12 to 16-hour project. Like I would have to start as soon as I get up and just keep going through it. No distractions or anything and
Promotion of the
all
motion.
that sort of stuff. But William, 2024 price guide is in the I am very curious about that and what approach you take in pricing stuff. Because it's something I've definitely thought about
Did that just happen?
many times before. And like now I've kind of told people like, well, yeah, I have
The test
prices of all the figures listed in the shop. Like that's the price guide. But I mean, if you want
Did that just happen?
on a grander scale, worldwide pricing, like that's not the end of the story by any means. I mean, it's a good starting point, I feel, but it's not the end all be all.
Looking sharp.
So I am very curious how you went about doing that. Maybe we'll have to talk sometime if you're willing to discuss it.
Eat this.
That was a big help. eBay and Marketplace are both definitely, yep. To confirm that I'm selling characters for a fair price. I hope so. Like that's my goal in most cases. Like I try to keep things, I've told a few people recently, I try to sell basically at market price or a little bit lower. I'm not out to gouge people, and like that's why, like I said, I just dropped the price of the light yawn trap this week. Because I felt it didn't need to be as high as it was anymore.
I'm the best, pound for pound. Knock.
Ooh, for the most part. Now you got my attention. I'm just gonna have to wait and see what this finished product looks like. Yeah, now I'm curious to see what I don't necessarily line up with.
Reaching new heights. Looking sharp. Reaching new heights. Dynamite.
How often do we sell expensive figures? As often as I get them in. It's hard to really say. Like, I mean, basically, the higher the price, the less common it is, and so therefore, the less often that we're going to sell it. So Enigma is more common than Blackout, which is more common. Sorry about the technical difficulties. So if you haven't already signed up, you can use the link down in the description below. Claim your $15 and whatnot credit. That can be used. It doesn't have to be used on my items or my auctions. You can use it anywhere on whatnot.
The test of time.
But that is available to you if you're a new user.
That just happened.
And then I will also be streaming this Saturday.
Standing.
That is our monthly giveaway live stream where we will be giving away a light yawn trap.
Now that's strong.
That'll be a big one. We'll be unboxing more stuff on there. We'll actually be unboxing stuff on Saturday that I bought on Whatnot. I kind of bought out a few sellers over there too. It just started on one
Looks like I'll stand the test of
one show I was on. Like someone was jokingly saying, "Hey, someone should make an offer for everything." And so I did, and I bought that, and then I got tagged in another show, and they're like, "Hey, you should buy all this stuff here too." And so I did.
I'll stand the test of
And then I had someone else contact me privately on Whatnot saying, "Hey, I hear you buy large slots of Skylanders." So I bought that one too. But
Looks like I'll
all sorts of goodies coming in.
looking sharp. Reaching new heights.
What do we have here?
Looking sharp.
Oxidized steel. I mean, we've basically had nothing but variants so far from Giants, Swap Force. Now moved on to Trap Team mostly. I guess there've been a few regular figures in the Trap Team bunch here, but yeah, nothing super rare or anything. So like the title says, like, I bought out a reseller. So I mean, they had a good selection of stuff, but at the same time, a lot of the rare stuff they would have already sold. So
Reaching new
that
heights.
isn't necessarily included as much in this lot. There's a lot of good stuff in here. I mean, there's stuff in this lot that I'm currently sold out of, so that's always good to see. But
Looks like I'll stand the test of
it's not
dynamite.
not like rare chase variant territory. Mud, how do we enter the giveaway? So Saturday's giveaway, same thing I've been doing all year for those. Basically, you need to be present to win, attend the giveaway, and somewhere in the middle of the giveaway, somewhere in the middle of the live stream, I will give you a keyword that you need to type into
Standing the test of time.
the chat, and that will enter you for the giveaway. The system I use allows me to just give it a keyword and say, anyone that types this word, enter them in the giveaway, and then there's a randomizer button that picks a winner. So that's all that it is, but you do kind of need to be in the giveaway or in the live stream when that goes down. Like I said, it'll all happen within like a 5-minute window that I don't necessarily announce ahead of time, because I want you to just be hanging out and being part of the community. Saturdays it's on YouTube. Yeah, the giveaways are on YouTube.
Dynamite.
I told you, like, Trap Team has the most figures overall, and that's a big reason why I figured to be the most expensive, because you not only have Trap Masters, so yeah, Trap Masters versus Sensei. Sure, Sensei probably win overall, but then like Imaginators, you don't really have core Skylanders. Whereas Trap Team had core Skylanders, and a lot of them were expensive core Skylanders. Then you could say Creation Crystals versus Traps. Yes, but Traps, there are more Traps than there were Creation Crystals, and more expensive Traps than Creation Crystals, I would argue, especially if you include the Yawn Traps and the Villain Variant Traps and all that stuff. But then in Trap Team, you also have the minis, which have no comparison in Imaginators. So there's just so much of a discrepancy in number of items overall with Trap Team.
Reaching new
that
heights.
even though, like I said, the average value of a trap team figure is probably lower than the average value of an Imaginator, but it's not
Eat this!
cheap to collect everything by any means. If you're completely new to collecting, want to complete it, buy every item in the shop, it would cost you $9,266.81. So yeah, there you go. Roughly a complete collection could run you about 10 grand.
My numbers are growing! Eat this!
Excluding games and portals. Yeah. Yeah, just the figures. Like I don't count games and portals in my list of collectibles usually. Like it's not included in the 603 that I'm trying to collect or anything like that.
Knock, knock. Too late. I'm the best, pound for pound.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, you only need one portal. The Traptanium portal will work for all 6 games.
Did that just happen?
I mean, unless you're saying like you play on the Xbox One, well, then you'll need 360 for the
Standing the test of time.
earlier games, kind of like I do for the. Well,
Did that just happen?
I do for the PlayStation, but like I only need one portal, regardless of which version of PlayStation I'm on.
Fear.
Or Xbox. Making trouble for everybody.
Look in.
The gaming portal came free with the figures. That's one way to think about it.
Looking good.
Did that just happen?
Tried the trap portal in SSA and the game takes forever to register. I can see that, yeah. I mean, obviously I haven't used it in forever just because I haven't played SSA or Giants in a long, long time, just because I have only been playing on the PS5 recently.
Fear the fish. Looking good. Looking.
Wildman, yes, we do reset the creation crystals. So the only thing we don't really reset is the traps, because I feel they don't need to be reset. But yeah, the creation crystals we absolutely do reset. So you get to choose the battle classes like you just pulled them out of the box. They'll be brand new to you.
Dynamite!
Now, obviously, I can't reset those
Looks like
in
I'll
Imaginators.
stand the test of time.
Those have to be reset elsewhere. But actually, oh, I do have a, well, I have the 3DS over here, but I don't have the portal. I couldn't actually do it right now. Just got a Series 1 camo. Congratulations. It's the best figure in the game. You win.
Looks like I'll...
How do we reset a crystal trap? So it's the same basic idea. So crystals I reset using Giants for the 3DS. You can use Spyro's Adventure or Giants for the 3DS or Giants for the Wii. if you want to reset traps, you want giants for the Wii. And then I would recommend using the Trap Team portal as well. But for whatever reason, in the Wii version of Giants, they built in a different reset feature for like when a figure doesn't register properly or the game doesn't recognize what's on the crystal or the trap or whatever because it doesn't exist in that game. And so they built in a feature that said, hey, do you want to like reset this, as opposed to just like, you know, resetting a character and bringing it back to level 1, 0 gold and all that stuff. Like it will actually like just reset anything that you put on the portal, including creation crystals, including traps. Once again, we recommend the Trap Team portal for the trap slot. Otherwise, it's hard to get the traps to read on a normal portal. But yeah, like there's not really any trick to it. It's basically just using the proper equipment. And in this case, proper means Skylanders Giants on the Wii. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Should I try to get all the creation crystals? Have all the traps minus the yawns so I can tell villains apart. Yep, makes sense. That's completely up to you. That is your call. What I can't tell you what to collect. You have to make that decision yourself. Personally, in my collection, I was originally going to go for, 10 of each element, so I could create one of each figure one of each type of sensei in each element. But it turns out I don't really like. I mean, I knew this ahead of time, but I don't really like creating characters. That's not what I enjoy doing. And so I kind of scrapped that plan, and my collection now just consists of one of each of them. So that's how I went about it. But what you want to collect is completely up to you. Callum, yeah, the 720 max is probably, I think that's with the streaming software that I'm currently using. It's not the Elgato for sure. Yeah, I think it's currently with the software that I'm using. I could upgrade the software for 1080, and like I said, if I streamed more often, that's something I would do. But because I usually only stream like once a month, this month is a little bit different that I'm actually streaming twice. But like it's not worth the extra cost to me to bother with that when I'm doing this once a month. It just doesn't make sense for me right now. So yeah, don't worry. Like you're not missing too much detail. I'm not even like running around the levels. It's just, yeah. But yeah, that's probably what you're seeing.
Fear the fish.
But yeah, it's definitely on my end, not your end.
Rock and roll.
Imaginators. Starting to see some Imaginators in this box. Gotta get rid of the Trap Team stuff on top of it first.
Looking solid as a crock.
But yeah, like if I was a full-time streamer, if I was streaming every day for 12 hours a day, like absolutely I would invest in a better setup and I mean probably a better internet connection. And like actually, yeah, now that I think about it, I don't know if my current internet connection would how it would handle a 1080 stream. I think it could probably handle it, but I don't know for sure just because I've never really tried.
Did that just happen?
But yeah, like I said, I'm not a full-time streamer. I'm not even really a part-time streamer. I'm a occasionally once in a blue moon streamer. So this setup works for now.
Dynamite! Looks like I'll stand the test of... Dynamite!
One of the things you really appreciate from Imaginators, all the packaging for the figures and crystals, much better shapes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. The rectangular boxes were nice for sure.
Looks like
A lot of choppers in here.
No!
That's good because once again, like I said, I think I'm sold out of chopper too. Might even be sold out of the jetpack and blades.
Hawk and awe! Oh, the sky! Looking sharp!
But yeah, games and stuff. Yeah, one of every element. I agree with that. As far as like 100% in the game, like that's
Reaching new heights!
that's usually my recommendation to folks when they ask like, how much should I buy? I'm like, well, I'm going to recommend this. And I mean that's the other reason why like Trap Team, the Trap Masters are so popular, because
Oh, the sky's the limit!
yeah, you can get the core figures, but they don't unlock stuff. You needed the Trap Masters to unlock stuff.
Taking charge.
Still, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time,
Even
they weren't
stronger
creating
than
these with the collector in mind. They weren't saying, "Oh yeah, people are gonna just keep these boxes and
Taking
you know, just stack them on top of each other." This was, "Hey, we're gonna buy this kid for our 6-year-old kid for Christmas, and they're gonna tear this box to shreds in 2 seconds. So we're gonna make them super easy to open up, so the kid can get to the figure and play with it faster." Like that's
even stronger than
that's the real thought process. I would say if I were working at Toys for Bob or whatever, like that's
taking
what's going
charge.
through their heads. They're not thinking, oh yeah, collectors are going to be scrambling after these 10, 20 years down the road, and we should make them as stackable as possible. That didn't necessarily make sense. I mean, when the figures were smaller too, I mean, can you imagine what a rectangular cube box would look like for a Spyro's Adventure figure? Like, take Camo and say, like, what would the box for that look like? Camo is nowhere near the size of a Sensei, so the box would be significantly smaller. And if you make it a little rectangle that just fits him in there, like it'd be like a quarter of the size of a Imaginator's box. Now that might be cute, but I think they'd also have a harder time selling it for the price they wanted too. It would have been interesting. It would have been interesting. And like the boxes would have, I mean, because then you compare that box to what the box size they would have had to make for Giants. I mean, the Giants boxes are ridiculous.
Even stronger than I imagined. Taking charge.
Crankcase, got a like core countdown, inbox funny bone at a used game store. Nice. And inbox mini Skylanders 5 days. Ooh. Yeah, inbox minis are not something we see every day.
Dynamite!
For sure. Elite Zero, what's up? About deep dive Gil Grunt and Reef Ripper today. Awesome. We will get that. Well, Jillian will get that packed up and shipped out as soon as possible in the next day or two, I'm sure. Obviously, the store has been very busy after the huge update yesterday.
Looks like I'll stand the test
But
of...
she's very good at what she does. And we'll
Dynamite!
get that shipped out as soon as possible.
time.
Can't 100% Imaginators without Robo Wildstorm in their chests. It's true. It's true. It's an expensive game to 100% for sure.
Boom time.
Trap team, go for at least one trap for each villain. I mean, technically, you only need 6 traps, or sorry, why 6? No, 8 or 10 once we got light and dark plus chaos. So I guess 11 traps,
Aiming high.
I would argue, is the minimum number if you're trying to save some cash there. But yeah, games and stuff.
Well, looks like
I think many of you know my feelings on NFC cards. I don't deal in NFC cards. I will not promote them in any form or fashion. Boom Blast did end up making a YouTube channel and currently working on your second video. Nice. I'm glad the advice helped you, and congratulations on getting started.
Well, looks like
That's what it's all about. Just gotta get started. Just gotta get going. It still baffles me why there's 6 magic traps and only 3 villains. Yeah. The numbers on the traps were just so off. It was rough. Martin, you got a few figures, but I have to bring Jillian. I mean, if I ever make it over that way, I'm sure Jillian will tag along. I don't think she'd let me leave the country. She wants to get over there, I'm sure. Eon's elite packaging and a true goat. I mean, yeah, you could argue that was the beginning of it. And but you see, those I would argue as well were made for collectors, right? That's when they said, hey, we're gonna, with the collector in mind, make these fancy cases with these fancy boxes, and they're gonna want to keep the case and the box because they're so fancy and all that stuff. And like that's what that's where
I'm staying afloat.
they did have the collector in mind, and so they designed the boxes that way. Now, did that carry over into Imaginators? Maybe. But unlike the other figures that they definitely thought the packaging was just going to be opened and ripped to shreds, the Eon's Elite was designed for collectors, thinking, yeah, they're going to keep these in box. Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Boom Blast. Yeah, my equipment was acting up today.
Looks like
So,
I'm staying
we may have gotten it to cool down by now. Let me see if can we get back on here? Ooh, I think we can. Hey, we're back. There we go. I'm here. I'm really here. It's not just some disembodied voice talking about Skylanders. Really do have a lot of choppers, though.
Dynamite!
So if anyone's looking for chopper, we should have some next week.
Well, looks like I'll stand the test of time.
Why is Trap Team so expensive? Trap Team's expensive everywhere. But, I mean, as we were talking with William, a lot of times my prices may be underpriced.
Dynamite!
I'm sorry if I've given you a... That's also explains why mine sell out all the time if my stuff is underpriced.
I'll stand the test of time. Dynamite!
Callum, wish they had continued the cards as well. That would have been nice. This one might be a bit eaten up. Yeah, this is gonna have to go in the damage box. See if we could show you this on now that I have the camera again. So you can see these extra little nibble marks on Chopper. Like there's 2 slits there that are, you know, kind of his nostrils. But there's a couple extra marks there that aren't supposed to be there, that are definitely teeth marks, and they're sunk into the plastic. So we're gonna pull that one. Like I'll test it and reset it, but that'll go in a damaged mystery box later. Tank Ninja. So I've decided I'm not revealing that information right now. I forgot to. I didn't realize I was going to be streaming this stuff, and so I didn't ask the reseller ahead of time if it was okay if I shared who it was that I bought out. I'm sure we'll figure out eventually, either because they've stopped selling, or because I have gotten permission to share that information with you. But right now, I cannot share that, or I have chosen not to share that. Eon's Elite from it was from Trap Team and Superchargers. Eon, the first round of Eon's Elite, the first round with 8 of them were in Trap Team alongside Trap Team, and then the last 6 with the alternate poses with the alternate designs were from Superchargers. Your cousin got Breeze for €8. That's ridiculous. Yeah, someone's cat got to Chopper. That's definitely what it looks like. Wish Jade Flashwing wasn't so rare. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, you know, it definitely felt more common back in the day when it first came out. But part of the reason with Jade Flashwing is Flashwing breaks pretty easily. Like the wings break off all the time, and even the tail once in a while, or the head. Actually, a lot of parts break off, but the wings most commonly of those 4 parts. And so when we have a fragile figure like that, over the years, there are fewer and fewer that are in good condition. And so that drives the price up too, because you're essentially diminishing the supply, and the demand is still there, and people don't necessarily want the broken ones, so the price goes up. But yeah, I agree. Jade Flashwing is a very pretty figure. How many times you missed out on a good deal because someone's dog got hungry? Yeah. Trap Team ones are cool because they started better packaging. Every other figure has such an awkward box. I get it. Found a retro game shop to sell Skylanders for $3 Australian. Nice. But the only rare ones are legendary. Hey, legendary ones can be hard to find in the wild, honestly. So don't be knocking that. Any variant, really. They just don't necessarily show up all that often. And in Australia is even better, because I have a lot of folks that say finding Skylanders in Australia is tough. So if you have a retro game shop near you that sells them, that's another bonus right there.
Well, looks like I'll stand the test of time.
We're almost finished up with the Trap Team, it looks like. Got a few more choppers down here. Like I said, there are a lot of choppers in this box. And I might have to toss this chopper as well. It looks like another pet got to it. But
Taking charge.
it's okay. We had a lot of them. That's fine. Could start a chopper army at this point. I mean, like I said, it feels like a lot when they're back to back to back, but in reality is probably like a dozen, something like that.
Taking charge.
It's not nearly as much as like Gil Grunt or whatever other starter pack figure that we have too many of.
Dynamite!
Well, it looks like I do have a few Imaginators in here. So we'll pull those out.
Looks like I'll stand the test of
And a few creation crystals.
dynamite!
Yeah, 11-3, like that's just the way it is sometimes. But yeah, if you can find anything, gotta take that win. Kaza, my day is going well. I'm getting a little hungry. I didn't bring any food in here with me. I might have to either take a break or maybe just call it for today. I said I was going to be here for a couple hours. It's been 2 hours. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, looks like
I still got a lot of resetting to do. And like I would love to get through the majority of it today, but like I didn't even bring up the
looks like I
big tubs. I only brought up some of the smaller boxes. Did I not reset the bitten ones? I thought I did.
looks like I'll stand the test of time.
I can double check them, but I thought I reset them. But then again, there's been so many choppers, who knows? Max, Snowbright Stormblade, 170 Canadian. I think that's a good deal. Once again, I always forget which way the conversion goes. So, like, I think that's going to be less in USD. Like, significantly less. So I think,
looks like
yeah, that chopper's reset.
dynamite.
So yeah, I think
looks like
chopper's reset. Yeah, I reset them. Here, let's check where we're at it again. 170 Canadian to USD. 120, roughly 125. Yeah, I think that's great, Max. About 125 USD for Snowbright Stormblade. I think loose. What was it, in box or loose? Because I think loose, I even sell it for like 150 or so. And that could potentially be underpriced. And like figures like that kind of fluctuate more than your standard. Oh, in box. Man, that's a real good deal, Max. Yeah. In-box Snowbright Stormblade for 125. Take that any day. Like that's in that range where like I would I'd probably try to get them down to like $100 and then consider buying it and reselling it. But yeah, that's perfect condition. Awesome. Yeah, that's a good deal. I like that deal. I have no qualms about that. All right. I think we're moving on to Imaginators mostly. Not that I have to go game by game. I'm going to assume that these creation crystals are all used. And so I'm going to have to reset them before I can do anything with them. But here, you can look at some. I'll give you a brief look at some of these characters.
Can I really get any?
I'm not going to spend too much time on them, but
We'll see.
here's an Earth Swashbuckler. People made. I have no idea who made these, but I am going to have to go in and reset them. So. Hey, there's cheese on a stick. Or the water sorcerer. It looks like a pumpkin. Sure. People are weird.
Never underestimate my blade.
Life Sentinel.
Entrance.
Got some bad juju here. Although I guess that's a bad juju headdress because he also has hair on top of it or underneath it. We'll checking these crystals, make sure they're not damaged. Crystals aren't damaged too often, but we have had a few actually that do get damaged. We actually have a damaged crystal in this week's Whatnot auction.
Can I really get
Legendary crystal even.
Guess we'll see.
Can I make the screen bigger? Fine, we can make the screen. You don't want to see me? I get it. Here you go. Right here. Can you give a full screen for this? Yeah, we're just gonna kind of fly through these. Like I said, I can't actually reset them right now. It's because I don't have my equipment handy. He's very blue, but he's supposed to be magic, so that's kind of weird.
Welcome to the Creation Crystal.
Oh,
Master.
is this one? Oh, that one's already reset. Cool. Or unused. We'll take that one.
Forecast calls for the storm.
Mudman, thanks for hanging out. Have a good day.
Can I really get any spookier?
Got Air
Guess
Sentinel.
we'll see.
So frustrating how you have to reset. Well, I mean, they honestly didn't want you to reset the crystals. That was the idea. They just wanted you to buy more.
Welcome to the Creation
So if anything,
Crystal
that's
Master.
ooh,
Here
I
you
could
can
reset one. Cool. Yeah, I mean, they didn't want you reset them. It's not that they made it difficult to reset them. It's we as users found a way around it.
for a hero.
And that's why it's difficult. If they wanted us to be able to reset them, they absolutely would have made it easier. They would have made it as simple as resetting a figure. But that wasn't their plan. Ah, yes. Fantastic, unfinished creations. That's how most of mine looked when I played through the game the first time, I think. I may have just randomized stuff.
Welcome to the Creation.
Ethan, I don't have an exact day that this stuff will be in the shop.
Very own
It's
Nimbat.
not used either. But I will say it will be no later than next week. It will be next week sometime. Because Jillian has some vacation coming up this weekend. If you noticed on the shop, we have the banner up saying there will be a shipping delay. That's because of Jillian going out of town. So we're not going to get stuff shipped out. So that is... yeah, this stuff won't get into the shop until sometime next week.
Here you can
But I don't have an exact date right now.
welcome to the Creation Crystal Portal Master. Here you can create your very own
A surprising number of these have not been used or have already maybe have already been reset. Maybe that was it.
Count to
Maybe
nothing.
the guy I bought them from already reset them. Favorite and least favorite Trap Master. My favorite is Shortcut.
Spookier?
Least
Guess we'll
favorites.
see.
We just talked about this, Blastermind. Blastermind. Oh, I need to reset that one. Man, make sure these go in the wrong box. Undead Quickshot. Unfinished Undead Quickshot. Exciting. Exciting stuff.
Welcome
All
to
right.
the
We do have some actual
Creation Portal Master.
sensei in here too.
Create your
Oh.
very own imaginator.
Done.
Best choose a battle class. Each class uses a unique type of weapon.
And no, it's not all.
I reign supreme.
There are some actual. Oh, I found some more crystals. Hold on.
Numbers.
We will need to reset these.
I reign supreme.
Welcome to the
We don't need to reset these.
shining through the cosmos. Somebody call for a hero?
All right. Oh, those are all on camera now. You can go check them out later if you want. Boom Blast. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping in. Light and Dark should have gotten minis. A minis of Spotlight and Blackout. Yeah. That would have been interesting for sure.
Game on! Let there be rock!
Yeah, we even got some variant senseis in here in this lot. So it's, like I said, it's not all Golden Queen and Kingpin and Crash and Cortex and stuff like that. There's still some decent stuff in here.
What I do is art and cannot be quantum.
Plus they look super cool, Tiny.
Let there
Yeah.
be rock!
Blackout and Spotlight minis. Okay, here you go. For the 18 of you that are left here. What would you name mini versions of Spotlight and Blackout? Can you like put those two in a mini 2-pack? So like it'd just be the two of them. That'd be awesome. That'd be the only like multi-elemental 2-pack. Yeah, what do you name Mini Spotlight and Mini Breeze? Or not Mini Spotlight and Mini Blackout?
You can hear me growing.
Yeah, naming stuff is not easy. It's for sure. But honestly, I think they had most of the minis created already. If not already back in Spyro's Adventure and Giants. Like they had the majority of them, I think, designed or at least planned. And so I think that's part of the reason why we probably didn't get Light and Dark minis. Because they weren't pre-planned. And I've always said, like, I think at one point someone probably suggested having the minis being a thing. Being a gimmick and having their own game and stuff like that. And so when either that got vetoed or whatever, they just decided to put them out since they already had them designed. It's like,
You can put your
well, here we go. But it's
face the mace.
one of those background stories that I would love to have information on, but
You can put your
I don't know if we'll ever be able to talk to the right people to get that.
face the mace.
Flashlight instead of spotlight. Okay, I can see that. Dim and dusk. Okay. What's an undead and air sensei you would recommend? Undead. So undead is my favorite element overall, but I wasn't as fond of the sensei. Like I like the dark sensei; they're the best. Of the three, though, I'd probably go with Chopscotch, which is weird because she's more melee, and that's not usually my style. But I think I like her the best out of the three options we got. Like, I'm not a big fan of Pit Boss. I wanted it to be. Generally, the Snake characters, I like them as well. Like, I like his design, but I don't really like his gameplay as much. And Wolfgang, even though like should be more ranged character, and I should like him better, like I didn't like him as much. So yeah, I'd probably go Chopscotch honestly for undead, and air. Air is generally my least favorite element overall. Like Wildstorm is fun because he hits really hard. He's okay. Has some decent abilities. I still might go Airstrike. Airstrike, I think kind of like Chopscotch, is a bit more of an acquired taste, and you have to like learn to use them as they were intended to be used. You can't just button mash with them. I think that's why some people don't care for them as much, but I do think that they are pretty good characters. And I like the fact that like Airstrike, you kind of have the 2-in-1 characters. Because I do always like characters where you get like some kind of minions to go along with you. Like that's part of the reason I like Rubble Rouser and Shortcuts and Snabra and Rattleshake. But yeah, I think I'll stick with those. Okay, we do have quite a few crashes in there. Oh, and I just uncovered the Cortex. But there are a bunch of Crash and Cortex. It's not everything that's here. Might be everything that's left. Like I said, there is some Imaginator stuff in here. Because it sells well for everybody, not just me. Hard to keep in stock. I was actually surprised how much Imaginator stuff they did have when I bought it from them. I just have to do a double take with Crash nowadays because we've had a few damaged Crash figures that just don't notice the damage right away. Whether it's just a barely nibbled finger or a broken ankle, or we've had it before where like his nose is missing, like the black tip of his nose is just gone. And like when it's gone, you don't necessarily notice it right away, but you know that there's something wrong. If you've ever had that feeling, like you see something and you just know something is off, something is wrong, but you can't quite put your finger on it. That's what happened with that one. So all these seem to have their nose, so we're good there. We even have one lone chest. We'll put that to use.
Hear me growing.
Boost some more. Really hard to think of good names. Yeah. Don't. I mean, like I said, that's not the job that I want. I don't like the job of creation. Whether it's creating the characters or creating names for characters. That's not my jam. I like playing the games and enjoying other people's creations. But the fact that they did come up with so many good characters and so many good names just shows you, well, one, how good they were at their jobs, and two, how much time they put in.
You can hear me growing. can hear.
Stay frosty.
Ooh, glimmer and shadow. Okay,
A chain is only as strong as its
I
weakest.
do like those. I mean, they also sound like they could be names of My Little Pony, but still, I mean, when you're going cutesy mini characters, that's kind of what you want too, right? You bought a crash from me on Whatnot, and the nose is broken. Yeah, there you go. Use hot glue gun to build it back up and paint it black. Oh, Hunter, that's fantastic.
A chain is only.
If you have any pictures of that, or you should maybe just take a picture of that and send it to me. That's fantastic. That sounds like something Rainstorm would do.
My statistics.
You can hear.
A few of these reset already. Makes my job easier.
Mace.
And I need to grab another box. We made it through another box already.
You can put your faith in numbers.
So we are making some progress.
Face the mace.
But I also do need a refill on my drink and potentially a bathroom break and a snack. So, if you're still going to hang out, I'll still keep streaming. We got people here. We're having some fun. So, I will be back in a couple of minutes, though. And we'll chat some more when we get back. Thanks for staying around. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. That's a clever stream. Yeah. It's one I've used before, especially when I back in the day when I had like 8-hour, 12-hour streams. I definitely need to take a few breaks. It was usually on 1 or 2 breaks, honestly. But like there would be when I went to I had the pizza delivered in the middle of the stream, and so I had to get out of my chair and go get the pizza. I had to make something that fit. Yeah, I enjoyed that. All right, looks like we got more Swap Force stuff. And a lot more variants again, too. Dark Washbuckler. More legendary swappers. So yeah, if you're looking for Swap Force variant stuff, I appear to have quite a few of them.
Making my mark.
Should be coming to the shop next week.
In legs and no bags.
Keep your eye out for those.
In legs and no bags.
Yeah, once again, lots of legendaries.
Making my mark.
Good, because I'm
And no
just sold
bags.
out of them. So I just pulled out a Nitro Freeze Blade and realized I think I had a dream about Nitro Freeze Blade last night. Nothing crazy, but like I think someone was showing me like their Nitro Freeze Blade figure.
Keeping it cool.
And, like, you know where the blades stick off the back of the base? And they often break off.
A cut above
Like
the
it was redesigned, and so like the Nitro Freeze Blade was actually a different design from the standard Freeze Blade. Like, oh, that's pretty clever. Like the designers figured out that breaks all the time, and so they changed it. But now thinking about that in my waking hours, that'd be a different figure. That wouldn't be a variant. Like that wouldn't happen. That was obviously not real. That was a dream, Matt.
Making my mark.
Apparently, Skylanders are invading my dreams, though.
Legs and no bellies. Making my Nitchacles.
I think we have some more volcanic eruptors in here, too.
Growing stronger. Nitchacles.
Yes, there should be plenty of volcanic eruptor go around.
Whip up a storm.
Like, I always say, I don't really like. I love the idea of being able to swap the figures. I think it's a fantastic gimmick, and I like the way they implemented it, and I like that you can do it. But in general, I don't like swapping. Like when I play the game, I just like to play the original characters, like the unswapped characters. Like if I'm forced to choose one, I think we determined rattle shift, I think it is. Because then you get the extra lives from shift, but I still get my main 2 attacks from rattle. I think that's how I go about it. But yeah, if I have my choice, I just use rattle shake. Jillian, yeah, you like to see all the variants too. We'll find them good homes, get them there safely. Yeah, I feel like these dark Blast Zone and Dark Washbuckler are generally kind of hard to find for me.
Looks like
I feel like we don't see them that often, and now we've gotten. I mean, there were like 3 or 4 Washbucklers, and this is at least 2 Blast Zones. I might have a few more in here as we dig down in this box, but.
Blast and Furious.
Even a Nitro Magna Charge. Like, I feel we see that one more often than the dark ones. But we'll see.
Blast and Furious.
Oh, with the punch. I could be a contender. Roll with the punch. I could be. Roll with the punch. I could be a contender.
Steel, we talked about that earlier, and we determined probably not, because like still when like I could add a second controller, yes, but when I put a figure on, regardless if it's 1 player or 2, it's gonna go to that magic moment screen, so I have to wait for that to finish, and then I'm pretty sure like if player 1 says I want to reset my figure, it's not going to reset both figures. It's only going to reset one. And like, well, here. Okay, so if I put character 1 on.
Track to attack.
Okay, now I have to wait for this screen here. And then I have to put a second character on and wait for that screen again. And then I have to go with controller 1 and say reset. And it's only going to reset this one character. I have to wait for this screen. So I can't like go on to player 2's controller and say, yeah, reset my character here. I don't think, because like I don't think it gives you like split screen, does it? Like it's been so long since I don't really play 2-player at all. I like as a kid, I didn't have this as a kid, so I wasn't like playing with my siblings. So I didn't think about that when we discussed this earlier. If it gave you split screen, maybe that might be a possibility, but I don't think it does from what I recall. But yeah, theoretically, you could maybe go a little bit faster if you had 2-player split screen. But I think unless you had 2 people operating the controllers, I don't think it would be that significantly faster. Because like I still have to pull the things out of the box, I still have to inspect them for damage, and then I have to put them on the portal, and then I have to remember which one is controller 1 and which one is controller 2, make sure I'm grabbing the right one to reset it. Like it's probably just as fast, if not faster, to do it one at a time this way, so I know what I'm doing. And like I can go through this a little bit faster when I'm not tending to a live stream and trying to keep up with the chat and stuff. And I mean, obviously things have slowed down a little bit now. The chat is not quite as lively as it was when we had 50 plus people in here before. But yeah, it's
Getting strong.
it's a thing that we've thought about, but I ultimately help as much as I think it would. All right, looks like we're getting some Swap Force regular figures here, standard core figures, no variants anymore. Ninja Glider, Enchanted Hoot Loop will always just be Hoot Loop to me. I'm the only. Fair enough. Yeah, if you got the enchanted one first, I can see that. Like that's just the figure you knew. Makes sense. Pirate Dad, how you doing? Ah, pretty sick. That sucks. Hope you feel better soon. Maybe we can entertain you, distract you for a little bit. Hire a bunch of trigger happies. There you go. They want too much gold. Yes. Speaking of trigger happies,
Fix is in.
we got a few of these coming up.
The motion of the potion.
Now that's strong.
Hey, William's back.
The motion of the potion.
Welcome. Yeah, I don't really know how long this stream is going to go on either. Like I said I'd stream for a couple hours because like this is basically my job for today is to just test and reset figures. So I figured I'd turn the camera on for a while. Like I'm not going to have the camera on all day. But that is what's going on right now. Yeah, chance to send over pics of item I open on the street. Oh, Pirate Dad. Sorry, did I thought I replied to you? I apologize if I didn't. So yeah, I had no idea that was in there. So that's why it got sent to you. I didn't know I had acquired that item. Is that something you need or want for your collection? That's going to be my first question for you. Is that something you would like to keep? Like, if that's something that is useful to you for your collection, I'm going to tell you by all means, go ahead and keep it. Like, that's fine. If you really don't want it, yes, I will take it back and we'll figure out shipping. But yeah, if that's something that you would like to add to your collection, go for it. Keep it. My gift to you. But yeah, I did. What I mean, I guess you could say it was accidentally sent to you, but it was accidentally, I didn't know I owned it, and therefore it got sent to you. But Jillian, if you're still here, yeah, no, yeah, it wasn't a mix-up by any means. But Jillian, yeah, if you're still around, for future reference, anytime we send a backpack or a bag or any sort of thing, we need to check them for tag along items. I know you usually do with other storage items that we send out, but this was, I think this was the backpack still kind of like in shrink wrap though, or like in plastic, like it was partially open but not completely. Was it that one? And so I don't think I would have even thought to look inside of the backpack.
X is in.
Yeah, it had the plastic on it. Okay.
Nice specs.
Yeah. Every swapper except normal, flute loop, and freeze blade. That's not bad. That's a good collection. I mean, like I said, you can play all the characters if you have the variants. Have you considered resetting them from the computer? Yeah. I mean, as who mentioned that? Steel, yeah. I don't use external sources to reset things. So yeah, I only reset things using portals and games that they give us. It's
Nice specs.
it's just my preference.
X is in.
I mean, part of it is, yeah, I don't want to risk corrupting anything or messing around with other stuff, but yeah,
Nice.
it's just my personal preference on how to handle things.
X is in.
Yeah, some of the Happy Meal toys packed inside the thermos lunchboxes. Yeah. Yeah, like we'll pack stuff inside cases like that, I know. Like I would have done the same thing, but apparently we didn't check inside that one. Like I said, with the plastic on it, I assumed that was like original plastic, and now I kind of wonder if that was from a secondhand source, if someone had kind of repackaged it just to keep it nice and clean. But yeah. Yeah, there you go. As far as Adventure Flashlight Pen. It's actually an item that I've never seen in person. I've seen pictures of it before. But I didn't even know I had one. I mean, Pirate Dad, I wouldn't even know what to charge you for it. I mean, like, because I've never had one, it would have been something that I would have had to run at auction. And so, I mean, if you want to throw me a couple bucks, fine. Otherwise, just next time you buy something, feel free to overbid by a couple of bucks, and we'll call it even. Like, it's not a huge deal. I mean, it's not like it's a rare, one of a kind $100 item or something like that. Yeah, don't worry about it. Ethan, yeah, just started playing Imaginators for the first time. Honestly, not that bad. I don't get the hate. Ethan, I don't get it either. Like, I understand where some people are coming from and how it reuses parts and, you know, whatever. I still think it's a fantastic game. I enjoyed it for what it was. When it first came out, I think in my initial review of the game, I actually stated that it was my new favorite Skylanders game. And I was trying to be objective and trying not to be, you know, oh, I love Skylanders, they can do no wrong. Like this, like I thoroughly enjoyed the game. And I know people have their complaints about it, but I don't have many of those same complaints. So I've kind of reverted, and I think Spyro's Adventure is still my favorite game overall. But I still like Imaginators better than Swap Force and Superchargers. And like I said, the other four, the four Toys for Bob's games, kind of rotate for me. At least Giants, like I like Spyro's Adventure, and then Giants, Trap Team, and Imaginators are kind of in this middle box that just kind of continually rotates. And so I don't know exactly where they get placed in there. But then, yeah, Swap Force and Superchargers are always down at the bottom, and they kind of rotate as well. But that's me. That's me. Excuse me. Yeah, and that's fair. I can see it's not necessarily a masterpiece, but yeah. How do you reset creation crystals? So yeah, personally, I use the 3DS. You can use the 3DS with either Spyro's Adventure or Giants. If you've tried it on the Wii, were you trying it with Giants? Because it only works with Giants. It's once again, it's a specific console with a specific game. Like there's 3 options: Wii with the Giants, 3DS Giants, or 3DS Spyro's Adventure. I haven't messed around with the Wii version in a while because I don't currently own one. I was borrowing my brother's for a while to try it out. But like it should work if you're using the right console with the right game. But yeah, it basically just pops up an error message saying like, there's something wrong with this figure. Would you like to reset? And it's like, yes. So beyond that, just because I haven't done it in a while, I that's something like I'd have to make a video about again to get it in my memory. My favorite isn't Superchargers Racing. Honestly, I had fun with Superchargers Racing. It almost, like, the controls were not precise and it drove me crazy. Like, I felt the controls should have been more refined. But the design of it and the gameplay, it gave me almost like Diddy Kong Racing vibes, which I absolutely adore. Like, it is closer to Diddy Kong Racing than it was like Mario Kart. Like, going into it, I thought it was going to be Mario Kart, but it felt more like Diddy Kong, I think. And I played so much Diddy Kong Racing as a kid. I loved that game. And so if we got something like that, it would have been great. But the controls were very loose. It was tough. It was tough. But it was kind of a throw-in. Like, they were trying to accommodate the Wii as long as they could. And that's what they got. So. All right, yeah, maybe I'll look into making another video about resetting stuff. I've wanted to make one about resetting traps as well because I get questions about that a lot. Maybe I can make one complete one about resetting crystals as well with all the different options. So we'll see. We'll see what I can do. I have so many videos that I want to make. I just don't have time for all of them. So it's really about prioritizing. Recently got a triple pack of crystals from eBay. Only one was reset. Got replacements from the SCL shop. Yes. And that's the thing. Like, so that's one reason I reset them, is so you don't have to. Like, you know what you're getting. You're going to get a reset crystal. And if you don't, we'll get it fixed. The other thing I do offer, I've only ever had like one person use it, but if you have a bunch of crystals that you have from somewhere else, and like I said, yeah, you don't want to, if you don't have a 3DS in the game, I mean, 3DS consoles nowadays are what, 150, $200, something like that. Maybe you can find a cheap one for $100. So they're not cheap. And so I do actually have a service that I offer that I'd have to look at. I think it's like I charge like $20 or something like that. And you can send me however many crystals you want, and we will reset them for you and ship them back. So that is an option. If you have a bunch of crystals that you want reset and you don't have the means to reset them yourself, like I will do that for you. Like I said, I think I've only ever had one person take advantage of that. So it's not something a lot of people necessarily need or want. Because, I mean, even then, depending how, like, if you have 10, 20, 50 crystals that you need reset, yeah, it's probably worth it. But if you only have one crystal, it's probably cheaper for you to buy a new crystal from the shop than it is to, pay for me to reset it for you. So the option is there if that's something you need, but I know it's not something everybody needs. Filippo, welcome. Gonna buy Nightmare Express from the website because you can't find it elsewhere. Well, I think we have plenty of Nightmare Express. That's one we haven't run out of in a while. So yeah, you're more than welcome to it. Tried to play a Wheel and Giants, but the option didn't pop up. Okay, yeah, I would have to look into it again. Like I said, I haven't reset stuff on Giants in a long time, so I'll have to work on that. So I can give you more direct instructions.
The motion of the potion! Now that's strong! The motion of the potion!
Steel, I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, that may be your opinion, but from what I recall, I think Mirror of Mystery is my favorite. Nightmare Express might be my second favorite. I am not a huge fan of the light and dark levels, honestly. I'm not a big fan of Sunscape Spire and Midnight Museum. I do not like Luminous and Nightshade. Like, they are not for me. I know a lot of people love them and would have loved to see figures of them and all that, but I'm not the biggest fan at all. Florian, welcome.
Me at my best!
Glad you can make it.
No gold, no glory!
Apparently we got a lot of Pop Fizz and Sprocket in here. Alright, there's other stuff in this box too. Just have to get to it underneath all the Pop Fizz and Sprockets.
Strong! The motion of the potion!
Pirate Dad, no, they had stuff from all 6 games. I'm just it was pretty well sorted, and so when I put it in boxes, they still kind of stayed sorted. And this box in particular is only Swap 4 stuff. Earlier we had a bunch of Giants variants. There was some Trap Teams, some Imaginator stuff. Not a lot of Imaginator stuff, as you can imagine. Like, they had sold most of it because they were a good reseller. And like I still have bins and bins of SSA and more giant stuff in the basement that I didn't bring up yet. But
The motion of the boat.
Can we see the orange chain reaction up close? Yeah, I can grab that in a minute. William, it was roughly 2,000 figures plus some other stuff. I mean, like storage and cards and stickers and stuff like that.
Looking good.
But yeah, it was. I think right around 2,000 figures is what we came out to. I think. So it was a pretty sizable lot. Obviously, they
Mix is in.
don't go through as much as I do necessarily, but
Nice specs.
it was. I mean, it's probably about the level that I had in my first year. That's about how much I would carry on hand at any given time. Definitely going to put them in big order when I list it. Fair enough. Like I said, should be in the shop
Nice specs.
sometime next week. The exact timing of that will be up to SCL Jillian. But we talked it over, and she told me it should be next week. So I know she has some other updates in place already and stuff like that. So, or plans for, well, between the updates she has ready and going on vacation, we're not going to get it in the shop before next week.
Flames are growing.
Straight to the point.
Still looking for a King Cobra. Anything's possible. Like I said, I don't think we'll get through all of it today. At least not on camera. So I'm definitely not going to get through all of it today.
To the point.
Would you recommend Superchargers? Ethan, I would recommend any Skylanders game. Is it my favorite game? No. Do I think it's still a good game? Yes. Like I've always said, like if I had to rank all the Skylanders games on a scale of 1 to 100, like, yes. What is going on there? Set you aside for a minute. Yes, Swap Force and Superchargers are on the bottom of my list out of the 6 main games. But that is relative to each other, right? And so all of these Skylanders games, I would say, are above a 90 in my book. So they're all good games, but if you're going to ask me to rank them against each other, well, I have to put something on the bottom. So
The motion of the motion.
yeah. How many figurines are missing from this lot? I have no clue. From my collection, about 20. Callum, have a good night. But yeah, we'll see you in the Discord, that's for sure. Yeah, if you're gonna try out Superchargers, you need a land vehicle in addition to a Skylander. Yep. Basically, you need the starter pack contents. Superchargers is the best story. It's hard to argue that. I'll give you that. What nobody talks about is the SC was first came down microtransactions. I don't agree that was why. Like, yes, it did technically have microtransactions, but they weren't necessary for gameplay. I mean, Skylanders in and of themselves were microtransactions, right? But you actually got like they're physical. It was physical DLC, right? Every Skylanders figure was essentially a microtransaction that you had to pay for to get more characters, and every level piece that you bought, every magic item that you bought was a microtransaction essentially. Before they were called microtransactions, you just because you got a physical collectible with it, people didn't think about it in the same way, but it was the same idea. They're charging you a little bit extra to get a little extra thing in the game. So the microtransactions in superchargers, I don't think were the breaking point for a lot of people. What I heard from a lot of people I talked to were the vehicles themselves. They didn't like the vehicles. And so that is what I heard from most people was kind of I don't want to get into this game because there's vehicles, and they got rid of, essentially got rid of core Skylanders. So if the superchargers were the gimmick, I mean, you could argue the vehicles were the gimmick, but then there were no core Skylanders. And so I think the vehicles more than anything drove people away. But I can see an argument being made for microtransactions, but that's not what I heard personally. Max, there is no direct link for the Discord server because you need to be a member of this YouTube channel. And once you become a member of this YouTube channel, in the perks section that'll pop up on the page, there will be instructions on how to connect YouTube to Discord, and that will give you access to the Discord if you just follow those instructions. So I could give you a direct link, but it wouldn't do you any good if you're not a member of the channel. So yeah, there is a link. There should either be a join button down below this stream, or down in the description. There's a link to join the server or join the channel if you want to do so. All right. Skylanders is still better than microtransactions. Yes, because we still have them. I get it. And like I said, like you do get a physical thing along with it. And so, yes, I would agree it's better than your standard microtransactions nowadays. But I think there's an argument to be made that we had microtransactions long before microtransactions. All right. Two things. I was supposed to grab that orange chain reaction, and I also wanted to show you the damage on this trigger happy that I've never really seen before. So this one right here, like it looks like someone like tried to smash it with a hammer or something. Like there's kind of a like you can actually see it there. And I had to second guess myself. I'm like, no, that's supposed to be smooth, isn't it? And so I pulled out this one, and it's like, yeah, it should be very, very smooth. So I don't know what happened to this one, but I've never seen damage quite like that before. But we'll definitely be pulling this one out of circulation, and that'll find a damaged mystery box somewhere.
Looking good.
All right, got that. Did I actually reset that one? Find out. All right, he bought 15 euros, Sunburn Eyebrow, Giants for 3DS. There was a Flare Wolf in the box. That sounds like a good deal to me. 15 euros for 2 or 3 figures in a game. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. The way people eat up free-to-play games. Yeah, I mean, Skylanders could thrive, especially if it was all digital. Argue the Skylanders are games that have more DLC than almost any game out there. Yeah, Every single figure counts as content behind a paywall. Yep. I get it. I get it. I don't disagree with that. You like that I speak slowly. You're welcome. I speak the way I speak. All right. Here, we'll even give you the full screen view. So yeah, this is the second orange chain reaction to ever be in my collection because I sold it the first time. I made a dumb move. Sorry for all the reflections. It's very bright up here. But it's a beautiful piece. So glad to have it back in my collection. But yeah, orange chain reaction. He's very orange. Not much else to show. He's got green eyes, but yeah, good stuff. What's the next Skylander I'm looking forward to buy? So, Geo, I don't have a lot of Skylanders left to buy. Most of them are very hard to find and very expensive. I mean, I would absolutely love to get my hands on Happy Birthday Ben Starcast. But the problem is finding one that's for sale. Like that's the problem right now. Like I have the money to spend and I'm willing to spend it. But I need to find someone who has one and has one for sale.
Very bright.
That's the problem right now.
A blaze of glory.
Pirate Dad, yeah. I love orange chain reaction. I mean, I love chain reaction in general. But the orange one is great. Why did I sell the first one? So if you don't know my full story, like I mean, I started collecting Skylanders back in 2013, end of 2012, 2013. And, you know, was really into Skylanders all the way through 2017. But when they, you know, finally announced that they weren't coming back with more games, they weren't making more figures, I kind of assumed that, you know, everything was going to fall out. People weren't going to be interested in it anymore. And so I just kind of left the Skylands for a while, and about 4 years. And about a year or two into that 4-year gap, I decided, like, okay, I just have all of these figures just sitting here doing nothing. And if they're not going to come out with more, like, I'm still going to want to play the games. So I decided I'm just going to keep one of like the first version of every character. So every series 1 of every character. So I actually sold off all the series 2, all the series 3 figures, all the variants, including most of the chase variants. I kept a few, like my favorite, like Quick Draw Rattleshake. I kept him, and a few other ones that either like I won or had special meaning to me or something for some reason. I kept some of those, but I basically sold off everything else. And that included things like Orange Chain Reaction. And then, you know, after that 4 years was up and I, you know, got back into Skylanders in 2021, that's when I, you know, opened up the shop and got back into the creating content and said, hey, I'm gonna start collecting these again. And so slowly over time, I started adding stuff to my collection. And there are a few instances where I even, you know, got something in that I didn't have in my collection yet, and I would sell it just because I'm like, my first goal was to help people complete their collections. And I'm like, oh, I'll complete mine eventually. But then between getting more and more product in and some of you out there saying, hey, you should really complete your collection as well. Like we started keeping more and more pieces for my collection. And now I got to the point where my collection's bigger than it's ever been. I only need about 20 pieces total. And yeah, that's where we're at now. But yeah, I sold off a bunch of stuff. I shouldn't have, but I did. Yeah, looks sick in the box. Yeah, chase variants like that I would prefer to be in the box, partly because their value and partly just to keep them cleaner. But yeah, do I have any prototypes in my collection? Unofficially, or wait, officially, no. Unofficially, I may have just acquired some within the past week or two, and I haven't really told anybody about them yet. So, yes, but I'm not showing them off yet. Like I said, I have a lot of videos that I need to make. Don't think it would be worth it not to make figures. Yeah. You know when you might have more elites in their original boxes. I think I've sold most of the ones in box. I think the ones that I have now have the cases, but not the outer box. So I can't say when I might have more. So I think I've sold most of the boxed ones that I have at this point. Do I have a silver eruptor? I think that's the one I don't have. I have Boomer and Dinorang, but I don't have Eruptor yet. But that may be changing soon too. My collection may be going through some big changes in a relatively short amount of time. Cheese bread. So, hey, you're going to get my spiel. I cannot guarantee if or when anything will be back in stock. The way Skylanders runs right now, I can't go to a warehouse or a wholesaler and say, hey, I need more Boom Bloom. It doesn't work that way. I have to wait until I can find someone that is willing to sell Boom Bloom at a reasonable price that I can add to the shop and not lose money. And even when I find that person and I pay that person, I still have to wait for them to ship it to me. We have to get it in. We have to test it. We have to reset it. We have to get it listed in the shop. And I can't tell you what the time frame on that is. I can tell you we get them in fairly frequently. I can tell you you should pay attention to either SCL Jillian's Twitter feed or shop update news. The community feed here on this YouTube channel will have all the shop updates listed there. You can look at past updates and see how frequently we get stuff in. Or if you want early access to the shop updates, if you want to know, be the first person to know about the shop updates, you can become a member of this channel. And when you become a member of this channel, you'll get access to the SCL Discord. And we always update the SCL Discord about shop updates before Twitter and YouTube. So become a member of this channel, join the Discord, find out about stuff first. But that's all I can tell you about when is stuff going to happen. I can't predict the future, but I can tell you that updates happen frequently. On average, 2 to 3 times per week. But on weeks like this, when Jillian's going out of town for the weekend, like there might be one less update. So just have to wait and see. You think you might know someone who is selling one? I mean, if you know someone who's selling one, let me know. I am open to it for sure. Max, yeah, I know the Skylander dude has one, but yeah, he's not selling. He's not selling. Du, du, du. Chaos, welcome. What are the last ones I need? Max, I don't have the list memorized offhand. It's a lot of early SSA and Giants chase variants. So like I said, I have the Silver Boomer and Silver Dino Ring, but I need Silver Eruptor. I think I need all 3 gold ones. I need most of the glow in the dark ones, a few of the clear ones. Like the majority of stuff I need is from SSA. But yeah. Do I remember what the first order you shipped out from the SCL store? I don't remember offhand. In the very beginning, like I didn't even quite have the shop fully set up. I was like, I would unbox stuff here on YouTube, and then people would request things, and I would just send them a PayPal invoice, and they would pay me, and I would ship stuff out. So that was for like a week before I actually got the shop set up. I was just taking private orders basically. But seeing the demand then, and that I was able to sell things quickly, I quickly got that shop set up. And I could go back and look and see what the first order was. I don't know what it is offhand, and it wouldn't be easy to get to right now. I'd have to dig through some stuff. But yeah, that would be some interesting trivia. Charlie Easton, welcome. Do I ever buy figures online? How do I find so many? I do. I buy figures online all the time. I mean, up until the past year or so, it was exclusively where I got them, basically. But yeah, eBay is one of my biggest sources for the shop. I buy stuff on eBay all the time. And the other places, like there, I used to get more from Poshmark, Goodwill, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, all those places. But either those places got too popular and it was harder to get good deals, or just they weren't as reliable, like Facebook Marketplace. It's getting in contact with sellers and getting to meet up with them and all that stuff got to be too much. Whereas eBay, I'm like, okay, they listed the auction, I pay for it, I'm done, they ship it, we're good. Like, it's just a better system. Nowadays, since people have gotten to know what I do and they know me from the website and stuff, I do have more people talking to me privately about selling their collections. And so I do some sales that I get a lot of figures that way as well. But I still buy a lot of stuff off eBay. SCL Jillian can attest to that as well. That I ship all the packages to her, and so we get a lot of stuff off of eBay. And but yeah, eBay, private sales, and when I go on hunting trips, I get hundreds of figures that way. But Pirate Dad, you may know what listing I'm talking about. Yeah, it was from eBay. You may know which one. You may know which one I'm talking about. But yeah, it was fairly recent. Could you make a Twitter post about what figures you'd be interested in buying for the site? Oxidized steel. I mean, honestly, I buy any and all Skylanders figures. I do not discriminate. If there's Skylanders figures and they work, like, I buy them. Now, how much I pay depends on what figures they are. And I mean, I'll just tell you right now, the higher the price point in the shop, the more I'm willing to pay. Like that's how it works. So like a starter pack figure that I sell for 99 cents, I pay basically nothing. But if you have a Robo or a Wildstorm, like, I pay significantly more. And so like it just depends what you have. But I will buy anything and everything. I don't leave Skylanders behind. I try not to. What would be the best advice to give me if I want to start making videos one day? Just get started. Press record, upload the video. Like I was talking with someone a couple weeks ago, and they actually just told me earlier in this live stream that they finally started their channel. Just get started. Your first 100 videos are gonna suck. I mean, my videos still suck sometimes, but if you don't get started, you'll never find out what you need to improve. You just get started. That's the best advice I can give you, is to just get out there and start publishing stuff. It'll do a few things. It'll help you figure out what you like to make, what kind of videos you like to make. It'll help you figure out who your audience is. It'll help you figure out what your audience likes to watch. And it'll help you get better at making videos and recording videos and editing videos. The only way you're going to get better is at doing it. Like, you just got to do it. You can think about it and hypothesize and plan all you want, but until you actually do the thing, nothing's going to improve. Nothing's going to get better. You just need to get out there and do it. Travis, how do you join the Discord? Where can you get the name of the Discord? You need to become a member of this YouTube channel. So you need to become a member of this YouTube channel, and then there will be instructions. When you join the channel, there's a little perks section that'll pop up, and in that it'll have instructions on, you'll need to connect YouTube to the Discord. And that the instructions will walk you through how to do that, and it'll give you access to the Discord that way. Like, I could give you a direct link, but it wouldn't do you any good if you're not a member of this channel. Would you like to open a physical store? I mean, ideally, yes. That's always kind of been a dream of mine, to own a physical store. But is it practical right now? Not really. Owning a physical location, it comes with a lot of overhead costs that I don't have to pay right now. Not just like the rent of the store, but utilities and insurance and employees and all sorts of other things that go on behind the scenes that I don't necessarily have to pay for right now. And the biggest problem would be, can a store survive on just selling Skylanders? Probably not. I mean, that's why they don't exist right now. And I mean, you even see other used game stores moving away from Skylanders because they think they're not profitable. And I'm like, well, yeah, not if you just have starter pack figures. But that is part of the problem. And I think I've come up with a potential solution, but it's probably a few months, if not years down the road. And it's not something I can focus on right now. And so that's something I'm working on, and I would love to do, but it's not really practical at this point. Like, I would just be losing money on it. Henry, it looks like Jillian's got your answer here, if you haven't read it already. Yeah, we don't know when things will come back in stock, but the best we can say is follow SCL Jillian on Twitter, the community feed here on this YouTube channel, or if you join this channel's membership, you can get access to the Discord, where we give them the first update about new shop updates. We do ship to the UK. It's going to depend on how big your package is. Like that how much it's based on weight. So without knowing what you're ordering, we can't tell you. What I can tell you is that when you go onto the site, and as long as you're signed in and have your address information in there, it will tell you how much shipping is before you actually finish the transaction. before you finish the checkout. So you'll be able to see that price there. But we've made it as cheap as possible. We do everything. Like I recently put out a video about international shipping this past Saturday, actually. So it gives you a few tips on how to keep the shipping as cheap as possible. But there's only so much I can do to control that shipping cost. Do you have to pay for that, or is it free to join? So Travis, yeah, it is a paid membership, and that's part of the reason why we give the Discord members first access to the shop updates, because they are paying to get into that community. But it is a Skylanders community, Skylanders Discord nonetheless. It's $2.99 per month. It's not a huge bill. We're not trying to make a ton of money off of this, but I do have my reasons for keeping it paid. And that's the way we go about it here. But you can sign up for 1 month, and if it's not for you, I mean, just cancel it. There's no contract, no 12-month or anything like that. You can just jump in and out month to month if you want. Yeah, eBay is your number one. There you go. Pirate Dad likes eBay as well. Do I have any out-of-box figures that I plan on getting new unboxed copies of? So it's not a high priority. My main priority is just getting everything in my collection. Do I have some that I would prefer that they were in box? Absolutely. Like I have a glow in the dark wrecking ball that I would prefer that it's in box, and I have a metallic purple lightning rod that I would prefer is in box. So I mean, over the course of time, maybe I'll upgrade some of them, but it's like I said, it's not really a priority for me. And wow, Pop Fizz looks drunk in that selfie. You can't see that screen right now. There we go. Pop Fizz had one too many potions. Anyway, do you want the silver eruptor in a single pack? Found one on eBay for 300. So like I said, I may have. I really need to start just churning out these videos, because I have like 3 dozen videos that need to be made. And instead I'm sitting here chatting with you guys on a live stream. So it's, I need to get on top of that, but yeah, like I said, my collection may be changing in the near future. Where can you send? Matt at SkylandersCharacterless.com. That's my email. You can send me anything there. We're so behind on chat. Sounds like. Any advice for selling Skylanders and whatnot? Have good stuff and start stuff at a low minimum bid. I've also found personally that my my auctions tend to do better if I list the items ahead of time, so people can see the, like, I like to have my items listed at least a week ahead of time. So like the stuff for this Wednesday show was listed last week Wednesday, and I plan on either tonight or tomorrow getting the stuff listed for next week's show. That's the way until you have a huge audience, and like I would say, like, I still don't have a huge audience, but I know other sellers on Whatnot that have, tens of thousands of followers, and they can just go live at a moment's notice and have hundreds of people in the show and sell whatever they want, and get decent prices on it. But until you're at that point, I would say, like, you really need to do some more prep work. You need to build your audience. You need to let them know what's coming. Like that's the biggest thing. And I would say even building an audience outside of Whatnot is going to help your sales on Whatnot. So me talking to you here on YouTube saying, hey, I'm going live on Whatnot on Wednesday, maybe we can get a couple dozen people over there. And I have 10,000 followers here on 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and I'm hoping to get 3 dozen people over to my show on Whatnot. on Wednesday. So like that's the thing. It's like when you're just getting started, you really want to focus on items that are going to sell quickly. Like they are popular enough that you're going to get some eyeballs on them. And once again, I would try to list them ahead of time or advertise them ahead of time so people can see them and be, you know, generate some interest and get a few followers in there, stuff like that. It's not impossible to get started, but it does take some work and a lot of patience, honestly. But yeah, if you're selling Skylanders and whatnot, it's like if you're just getting started, it's going to be hard to go in and say, oh yeah, I have this tree Rex. Who wants it for $1 plus shipping? Like most people have that, or most people aren't looking for that. And so that can be tough. But if you go in and say, hey, I have this light core pop fizz, you'll attract some attention. And it'll be a bit easier to get some people into that show and get some bids and make some money. So I would honestly focus on getting, you know, just 1 or 2 good items to sell. And start with that. And if that's your entire show, so be it. I think having 1 or 2 good items that sell is a whole lot better than saying, yeah, I have these 100 super common figures that everybody already has in their collection. Why aren't I making any sales? I don't get it. Yeah, I would focus on just getting 1 or 2 good figures, getting a few sales under your belt, and building a following. First video with your Skylanders collection, that's a good place to start. There you go. Joseph, my favorite Skylander is camo. I don't have a good answer for this, AB. If you want to make your own original Skylander, like I don't do a lot of creation. I leave that to the professionals. That is not me. Just my thought. Not sure if you ended up looking at some stream highlights of mine. Pirate Dad, I honestly haven't gotten to that yet. Did some testing with Sky Sleeves. Ooh. E3 2011 are just slightly too big to fit. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense because the packaging was different. All right. Hi, Dylan. I think I need to get back to resetting some figures. Thank you for the conversations, though, chat. This is exactly why I do go live when I do these things, because I love talking about Skylanders with you guys. I also get very distracted very easily, and I have a lot of work to do yet. So we're gonna keep going.
I need an abacus.
I like this Smolder Dash.
Beat the beetle.
Bunch of Smolder Dash figures in here, like standard Smolder Dash, not even light core. Those have been hard for me to come by in well, all the time actually, not just recent days.
Beetle. I think I need an abacus. Can't beat the beetle.
All right, I think what I'm gonna do is keep going here, but we're gonna call it at 4 hours because I have no idea how 4 hours have almost passed.
Sharp as attack.
And we'll.
To the point.
But yeah, I think that's gonna be the end of the stream in like 20 minutes. Because I still got a lot of work to do. It's been fun, and I would love to just sit here and chat with you all day. But like I said, we got work to do. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No! Smolder Dash doesn't work. Come on, Smolder Dash. Work. Shoot. I think we have a non-functional Smolder Dash. That sucks. Oh, man.
Stay cool.
After all that talk about Smolder Dash, how about this one? Does this one work? There we go. They're not all dead. Okay, do we have more? Here's another Smolder Dash. We'll test that one right away, too. Make me feel a little bit better that we can get a couple of them that still work. Like, I know figures that don't work are rare, but it always hurts when they don't.
A blaze of glory. A blaze of glory.
Nick, if you found one for $370, I wouldn't trust it. I have a feeling I know what link you're going to send me. I think people have sent it to me before.
A blaze of glory.
But yeah, if there's a figure that should be very expensive and you find it very cheap, there's probably a reason for that.
Silent,
yeah.
deadly.
As Wise Man James says right here, pretty high chance of a scam. I wouldn't trust that. Hired Dad. Expect a message from you soon. I will be waiting.
Catch a glimpse.
Yeah, Ninja Glider. There are a lot of quirks like that in Imaginators. I've thought about documenting them because people talk about them a lot. Things where like the size is off, or the picture they use is just a weird choice. Like I think
Fix is in.
like the regular stealth elf shows up as dark stealth elf or something like that. Like in the little icon in the right there, that little icon. Or what? Well, here we just had dark. Does she show up as dark or normal?
Silent but deadly.
Yeah, so she shows up as the dark one. But or maybe maybe it was like the superchargers one shows up as, maybe it's the supercharger shows up as ninja stealth elf or something like that.
I think I need an abacus.
Yeah, there's some quirks. And do I think I'm ever going to add Happy Birthday Ben? Yes, I do. Like, honestly, as rare as it is and expensive as it is, that's honestly one of the ones I'm most confident that I'll add to my collection. I've been this close like 3 times.
Shoot for the stars.
Like the last one, Chaotic just beat me to by like 10 minutes. I was not thrilled about that.
Shoot for the stars.
But yeah, I absolutely believe I'll get that in my collection one day. Those have slowly been popping up more and more since we've discovered them, known to look for them. Can I do a series where 100% the Skylanders games? Maybe. I mean, that's what I've been doing just with my live streams. It's not quite a series, but I have a lot of other videos I'd like to make first, I think. So we'll see. What do I do with the Skylanders that don't end up working? Because they didn't have as many like adventure packs. They had a couple of battle packs, but yeah, it really depends how you judge it. Like, I don't know what the criteria for that are.
Straight to the point.
All right, Dad. Have a good night. I hope you feel better. I'll talk to you soon. It's possible when I buy a Trap Master, I can get a good colored weapon rather than just whatever you normally do and just pick whatever is whatever. Cranky Boots. You sound aptly named right now. Typically what happens, first of all, I would say, yeah, Jillian, who just replied to you, is in charge of this. She's the shipping manager. She takes care of all the packing and shipping. So yes, as she says, she tries to pick the best quality one that we have at the time, but it's not something we can guarantee. And I would say, particularly with Trap Masters, that we have, you know, we get in regularly, but they sell so quickly. Like, you get what you get. Like that, we often don't have 3 dozen to choose from. It's, we got 2 in this week, and if you were the first one to order, you get the better one, and if you were the second one to order, you get the other one, whatever that means. If it's good, bad, or other, like, we don't sell, you know, damaged figures, but, you know, just natural wear and tear, or like non-saturated weapons. Like, that's how they were sold in stores initially. That's how they came from the factory. So like, we don't have control over that, and like, we're gonna resell that in the shop. That's just, you're buying used figures. If you need to know exactly what you're going to get, then I mean, I would also, you know, go to a place like eBay, where they're going to show you pictures of the exact figure that you're buying, and maybe even consider, you know, if you want one in top-notch condition, like, look for one in box. Then, like, that's going to be your best bet. But as far as the used figures that we get in and sell in the shop, like, we'll give you the best that we have, but sometimes we only have 1 copy of it, especially like a Trap Master. So there's only so much we can do. Charlie, we did actually get Mini Genie, I believe. I think that was the only sidekick we've seen today. We do not have the Cleveland Brown Adventure Pack. Selfless, welcome. Just got a few minutes left before I head out of here, but I'm just testing, resetting figures that I got in. These will be in the shop next week. Otherwise, just hanging out, talking, having a grand old time, as we like to do. Run across a stash of Star Strikes here.
Can't beat the beetle.
Charlie, do we have any figures that are broken but you have all the parts? So, I mean, damaged figures that still work in game,
I need an
we
abacus.
sell in the damaged mystery boxes. And if we have parts that we know belong to any particular figure, like, we always try to keep them together. And so sometimes there will be like bagged figures in there that have parts along with them. So when we know parts come, like if they broke off in the box and we can place them together with their figure, yes, we try to do that. But I can't guarantee that we have parts for them, and we don't like sell those individually. The same would go like if I sell damaged figures at the auctions, and we have the parts that go with them. Like, we'll send the parts along, absolutely. But I don't.
Shoot for the stars.
I can't guarantee, because sometimes we just don't get the parts when we're sent damaged figures. Like, they're damaged ahead of time and we don't have the parts. How often do we find Trap Team Core Skylanders in resellers? I mean, so like in this reseller lot that I just bought, there's not really going to be a lot of Trap Team and Cores, probably, because they sell very quickly. And if they're a good reseller, which I know this person was, like they'll have sold that already. So like when I come in and buy their inventory, they're not going to have it in stock. Just like I don't usually have them in stock because as soon as I put them in stock, they sell. So they're in stock for a brief second, but then they sell. So it's not that we don't get them in stock. It's just like at any particular moment in time, 90% of the time you look at the inventory, it's going to be out of stock.
A rising star.
How many trap masters were in this live stream? Not a whole lot. I know there are a few. Head Rush. I can see Augusto, Lobstar, Kaboom. I feel like there might have been one more, but not a ton. Because once again, those sell very well. So they didn't have a ton of them in their inventory. How many figures do I need to collect? 20. Magic number is 20.
Sharp as attack.
I would test magic items since they don't do anything in Imaginators after the first time. So tonics, yeah. So my process, I actually had to set the golden dragonfire cannons aside from earlier because you're right, I can't test them in this game. So I actually do testing in 3 games. We do all the figures here, the figures and creation crystals here in Imaginators. Then I'll jump down to superchargers to test and reset the vehicles. And then I go to Trap Team to test all the magic items. So that, I mean, that includes traps as well as all the other magic items because they still do stuff in that game. But yeah, I do the testing of magic items in Trap Team. That's how I go about it. But yes, they do get all the magic items get tested as well, just not in this game. But yeah, obviously they don't get reset because you can't reset a magic item. Well, you can't level up a magic item, I guess. Did we get any of the giant variant figures? So I didn't go through any of them today. I know I have some in the basement that came with this this lot, this inventory, this collection, whatever you want to call it. I don't recall which ones offhand, so don't bother asking. But yes, I know there are some variant giants. So got that going on. Legendary trigger happy. We'll get him. I may even have some in this lot. I don't recall offhand, but we'll see. How much would I pay for legendary Skylanders and Spyro's Adventure and Dark Mega Spyro? Once again, it just like I don't necessarily have set individual prices for individual figures, and I don't do a set percentage or anything like that. It really depends on the lot overall, what you've got there.
I think I need
So if you're looking to sell stuff to me, I ask you to send pictures of whatever you have for sale, along with your initial asking price, to matt@skylanderscharacterlist.com. And we can talk over there. But yeah, it depends on what you have for sale, condition, and I mean, just what kind of deal we can work out. Because I always tell people, like, I've had people tell me, like, yeah, I have 100 Skylanders to sell. How much will you pay me? Like, it depends what they are. If it's 100 T-Rex figures, I'll pay you like $2. If it's 100 Chaos figures, I'll pay you like a few $100s. Like it really just depends what you're selling, and there's a big difference from figure to figure, and even just within a collection. Because like as I found, like even there are so many Skylanders, right? There are hundreds and hundreds of unique Skylanders figures, And so even if someone says, I have a collection of 200 figures, that still, and even if they're all unique, that still doesn't guarantee that they even made it to Imaginators, right? There were 200 unique figures just from like Spyro's Adventure, Giants, and Swap Force. And those are going to be the more common figures. And I'm guessing if they stopped at that point, they don't have a complete collection. So they probably don't have Doomstone. They probably don't have a lot of the variants. They probably don't have all these other things that would make the lot more valuable overall. And so just to say, like, I have 200 figures from these 3 games, like that's not enough information for me to go on. And so it's just been easier for me overall in the long run to say, hey, send me pictures of exactly what you have. Because as much as people think they know Skylanders, I've had so many people tell me, yeah, I have a complete collection. I have one of everything. And then they send me pictures. I'm like, no, you're missing like 50 figures. Or even if they're only missing 6 figures, they're missing the most expensive 6 figures. So like they're missing Robo and Wildstorm and Chompy Mage. And I'm like, you know, if I had just assumed that you had one of everything, like my offer would have been a few $100s higher than if you don't have the big 3, right? And so I really need to see exactly what you have. And as much as I would like to trust you and take you at your word, this is what I have. I just need to see it to actually give you an estimate. All right. Nightlight Wallop Enigma. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We didn't have those today. I think we had all those in yesterday's update. I think they're probably sold out by now. But we did have a very good update yesterday. Dino Master, you buy off other sellers in bulk and then sell them at SCL shop and restock. Not always. This is actually a rarity. In this particular case, I've been in contact with this reseller for a long time. And they were in a particular situation where they needed some extra cash. And so they said, hey, would you be willing to buy out my entire stock? So in this case, yes, I bought all their figures, and that's how we went about it. I have been in other situations where other resellers are like, yeah, I've been selling for a few years, but I decided I wanted to get out of it. And so here, would you buy everything? Sure, I'll buy everything. But the majority of my purchases come from people selling their collections, whether that's on eBay or privately, whatever. And that's why so often you'll see we just get, one of this figure and one of this figure and one of this figure. And so we get all the rare figures in at once, but it'll just be one of everything. It's because I bought someone's collection. They were done with Skylanders. They wanted to get either they needed cash, or they are moving, or for whatever reason they just decided they're done with Skylanders. They want to sell everything all at once, and then they're done, and we move on. So most of mine are collections that I buy. It's rare that I buy out a reseller, but yeah, I've done it before, and I'll do it again if the opportunity presents itself. Yeah, we're almost at 4 hours. Courtney, welcome. Glad to see you here. Do you consider Dark Spyro from Swap Force a Series 2 figure because of Dark Spyro from SSA? That's a tough one. Unlimited Water, like it's one of those anomalies. Like people will tell you like it's 2 different Dark Spyros, and like I usually refer to it as like either Series 3 Dark Spyro or Dark Mega Ram Spyro or something like that, just to differentiate. And it's tough to explain to people who haven't been following it forever. and like they'll tell me, "Oh yeah, I have Dark Spyro," and it's like, well, which one? And like then if once again if they don't know enough like how to get them to explain it, well, you try to describe the figure or say green base or blue base or whatever.
The potion.
And yeah, it's it's a it's a thing. I wouldn't necessarily call it a Series 2 figure because it's the variant of a Series 3 figure. Like that's what it is. It's a variant of the Series 3 figure. It's weird that they made a second dark version, but it's kind of like there's two legendary jetvacs, right? There's legendary jetvac in Giants, and then legendary Hurricane jetvac in Superchargers. Like, why did they decide to do that? Why? You had so many other figures to choose from, and not make it confusing. But yeah. Do we have any plans to see what the prices are and shop in different currencies? So Cranky Boots, unfortunately, we did initially have the different currencies on the site. However, we found out through trial and error that it was actually losing us money by doing that. There's a bunch of weird stuff that happens with the conversions, and there's extra fees that go along with that I was paying to do the conversions, and ultimately, yeah, we are losing too much money. Plus, it was an absolute nightmare for my bookkeeper, who encouraged me not to do that because it meant that they were basically not only had to keep, the record of everything, but then they almost had to keep like separate books for each individual currency. And so, I mean, not only did we have euros and pounds, but then we had some other currencies from other countries that have their own individual currency that don't use the euro. And so, or even just like the Canadian dollar or the Australian dollar, all of those were being handled separately, and it was just a nightmare to keep track of. So it was rough, and I hate to do that because, yes, I know a lot of you out there, international folks, appreciated seeing your own currency there, and knowing exactly how much that was going to be, but it doesn't make good sense for the business right now. Like if we were a bigger business, if we were Amazon or something, and we can handle that input, and handle those losses and stuff, like it's a different story. But unfortunately, as a small business, when we're losing money on every transaction like that, like it hurts. We just don't have that much extra room. Chompy, what's my opinion on Pop Fizz? He's okay. He's not my favorite, but he's not the worst character out there. Calbert, have I ever been close to get my hands on Happy Birthday Ben? Yeah, a few times. I mean, the one time in particular was, if you know Chaotic, Chaotic's Collectibles, like when he got his, I was like 10 minutes away, 10 minutes behind him. I actually saw the notification about it, I think, before he purchased it. It was actually SCL Jillian who sent me a link to it as well. But it was super early in the morning, and I wasn't quite awake yet and didn't quite process what was going on. And by the time I got to it, like, Chaotic had already bought it. So that one sucked. But there have been a couple other ones that we've been trying, like the buyers are getting smarter, and they're figuring out what this item actually is and how much it's worth, and so they're getting less and less likely to sell it. Like anytime one pops up, like they just get inundated with offers, and most of them just back out and say, okay, no, I don't want to sell this right now. And so that kind of sucks. But yeah, there have been a few close ones. We'll get there eventually. Would you rather have a full collection of chase variants with no normal figures, or the opposite? I would rather have all the normal figures. I honestly, like, I collect chase figures because I can, and because I've made it a goal now. But I prefer the normal versions over the chase versions in most cases. 99.9% of the cases. Actually, maybe 100% of the time, I might prefer the normal version. Some of the chase ones look cool, but in general, no, I'll go 99.9. Things like Snowbright Stormblade are probably better than the original. Sprock had a supercharged variant. Fair enough. Rather than hard arguments, Trafting came out. Who's cool? Wall up a Crypt King. They both have their merits. I think I like. That's tough. I think I like the design of Crypt King better. I might like Wallop more in-game. Crypt King's good, but I might like Wallop just a touch more in-game. But Crypt King's design is definitely better. Cranky Boots, best way to display figures, do you want to go to shelves? I don't know any offhand. I mean, what I have behind me here was custom made by my wife. So I don't know where to buy any. I've had them custom made. So do we get Series 2 Bash or Drobot? Not in this. Oh, well, we haven't pulled any out today. I haven't really. The only giants I've really gotten were variants. So I think that was a separate box. I have another box of giants over there that I haven't gotten to yet, and I'm not going to get to on camera today. So you'll have to wait for the shop update sometime next week. All right, folks, we are past 4 hours. I'm getting distracted again and still got a lot of work to do. So I think I need to call it quits here today, but thank you very much for hanging out. It's been a blast. If you haven't already, you should, if you're new to Whatnot, if you have not signed up for Whatnot yet, make sure to sign up for Whatnot using the link down in the description below. You get $15 in Whatnot credit. Join me on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, for Whatnot Wednesdays. And I will be auctioning off a bunch of Skylander stuff there. You can go check out the items now. We have another live stream. If you are interested in just YouTube live streams, you want to come hang out, we have our monthly giveaway live stream this Saturday. Code, you should join us for that one. This Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time. That one's actually scheduled. This was just kind of an impromptu, hey, we're going to do this stream. And I ended up streaming for 4 hours. It happens. But this Saturday, YouTube live stream, come join us for that. We'll be giving away a light yawn trap during that stream. So you want to come and check us out. And then I don't know what else. I mean, Whatnot Wednesdays, every Wednesday that I'm not out of town. Should be the next few at least. I think most of the ones in July. I think I've done most of my traveling for this month. So unless something else comes up that I need to travel for immediately, I should be here basically for the rest of the month. So every Wednesday on Whatnot, this Saturday on YouTube, and then we'll get some more video content out here as well. I'm hoping if I can get some of these videos done, I can potentially start putting out more than one video a week, which is my ultimate goal. But I need to at least get to one video a week before I start promising more. So I need to get to work on that. But thank you all for hanging out. It's been a blast. I will see you hopefully on Wednesday. Otherwise, Saturday. We got a lot of content this week. Talk to you soon. Have a good night.